cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7.
Yeah, there we are. Let's put on our little bow tie. How is everyone doing? We got Lou, we got Shadow, we got Jaeben, we got TCO, we got Fluffy. Fluffy was playing Starbound apparently. Welcome, welcome. Might be able to get through the backlog. Doing fine, that's good to hear. I would have been on time, but there were some games that I thought had been sent to me and I couldn't find them. So if you sent me games, you're like, why haven't they been shown? It's because I lost them. He's just not here today. I might end up covering the game by myself. But if I'll do that next week. If he just can't, if he's too busy. Hey y'all. Another Sammy pick on this map, huh? I assume that's because this base looks very inventory only. I guess the HQ is somewhat takeable. I don't know if the transports get anything out of the extra movement. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. It does have a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drop off. Did you get down here faster with a BlackBoat? Amy's got some stuff. I doubt we'll see the double sub play again, but it's possible. You hope Advanced Warrior gets to see some of the Sammy games today? Advanced Warrior did say that she was his favorite. It's true. Did everyone see the True Bosses, was it Global League rating history video? It's like 3 minutes long. It's so good. You get to see from all the way back in the day, the people at the top. And then I get to make a little cameo towards the end, as does Incuggarch, of course, and Tordred. One of the more currently well-known names, I guess. It was fun stuff. Would highly recommend. I think I did share it, so hopefully you guys got to see it. Check before I do anything. Speed the tester. It's always looking good on the download. It's always the upload that you gotta be wary about. Okay, that's looking fine. Right. Join my own stream. Yay. Okay. So we did see this map last stream with also a Sammy player. It was a Sammy player on the left and a Grimm player on the right, and it was a very long game with some very intense buys, including subs in both of these harbors so that they could never be captured. I doubt we're going to see that here, but we might. I'll be interested. I'll try and keep an eye out for any Sammy-specific openings that the players might go for. They're both Sammy, so that in theory they would both go for one. If there is one. Ooh, VonMountain going with an early back cap. I would 100% go for the airport right away, because the transport copter, especially a Sammy, is always really good. You get the infantry to kind of burst out in this direction. Yeah, that's what Soblet's doing over here. And then, also very interesting, VonMountain just put the infantry into the BlackBoat. So usually, even if that was your plan to like double load into this BlackBoat and bring it down here or something, usually you would step past. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's fog, so you don't really need to conceal what you're doing, but you can always load into the BlackBoat on the next turn, so you kind of give yourself more options. But if the plan's all ready to like double load and drop off here and then drop off down here or something, then that makes sense. That makes much less sense. So, see, if the infantry had walked past, then it could be starting a capture right now. And then this is the infantry would be sitting in here. Okay, there's our transport copter. You even get value out of the boost right away. Reach this city. Looking very good for Soblet over here. I haven't seen anything that's Sammy only yet, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, anyone can do that. I think next turn we'll see the Sammy only reaching that tile. I do like the recons. They're very good against when fighting against Sammy. They won't stop the captures, but they can still harass the infantry. Well, never mind, we don't see the Sammy only movement here. So far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess dropping off in this forest with Sammy only. But since I think this guy's going to the harbor, that wouldn't be necessary. Okay, VonMountain going for both of these at the same time. Oh no! It's gonna be luckily, as Sammy, the BlackBoat will be able to come back and pick these guys up. But it's looking like VonMountain needs either more transports or to break this pipe seam. But so we have a third recon, which is good. Another transport copter at the Soblet. With currently 2 transport copters and a single recon as the only vehicle buys. Ooh, VonMountain base skips. I would definitely, if to get the copter here, if I was going to base skip, I would base skip on this base because it has it requires assistance to get units out of, where this one doesn't. I was wrong about where Soblet was going. It wasn't going down to the harbor, it was going for this comm tower really early. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, just because comm towers don't give you money. And so the extra firepower here isn't impacting anything right now. It's going to still be quite a few turns. Never mind, it's going to impact that attack right there a tiny bit. But for the most part, it doesn't end up impacting anything. Okay. So far, I'm liking Soblet's opening a lot more. Looks like we're going to have some mechs being delivered. I like the BlackBoat repairing, or essentially refueling this transport copter. Anti-air makes a lot of sense to me. Fighting Sammy. You'd expect to see transport copters to snipe. You'd expect to see some mechs to go after. And anti-air are also fairly decent at fighting recons. Copter plus recon strike over there. Okay, so VonMountain's starting to get some against this recon with the infantry, as it could be the other COs to get your infantry kind of tickled like that. Is the stream dead? Oh. Is the stream dead? And is back. Okay, well, I can watch my own stream, so it must not be dead. It has revived. I'm alive. Okay. Did the backlog win? Oh no. I get a notification about it going down. I did. Alright. Soblet is getting, VonMountain is getting some attacks on these infantry. And you gotta keep in mind when you're attacking Sammy, even as Sammy, you, unless you're like Grimm, you're not expecting to actually interrupt the captures, you're expecting to just kill the infantry off. You want someone to draw a White Nova soldier in a log costume to represent the backlog? That sounds very fancy. Okay. Hobble's bringing in the mechs to cover these captures and recons for opposing recons. We have the copter to try and fight off the copter. It's looking good. This anti-air will be really tough for VonMountain to deal with unless like some mechs or something get brought down here. Oh. Soblet did not go for the capture. Could have finished the capture, instead attacked the infantry. Ooh. We have an attack in here from VonMountain. No mercy. Killing off the T-copter with the battlecopter. The mech is ready to beat up this recon. So we could have a recon strike it. top that does end up killing that recon. I imagine, I could be wrong, but I think 7 health mech because it'll be repaired, plus recon will kill this recon too. But I did like that repair from VonMountain for that recon attack. And this pipe seam survives at 8 health. Poor artillery. Ooh. Okay, never mind. We went with mech infantry. That works too. Double infantry to clear this out. We have the copter strike on copter. Gonna need some more backup over here because this anti-air will start winning the day. That infantry hit for 3? Oh my gosh. Another BlackBoat brought over. Okay. Gonna need a BlackBoat over here to pick up these mechs. The transfer copters are too slow. But this is looking very nice for Soblet. Currently up 4k at the end of the turn, but has a very strong presence on the southern side while also contesting the top. VonMountain had a decent chunk of the army, the double artillery locked behind this pipe seam, but that's now freed. Ooh, I like this front switch from VonMountain. Although I think you should usually get followed up with a retreat up here, just because the reinforcements are no longer headed to this section of the map. Welcome, Felix. Welcome. Okay, this is a great place to put a BlackBoat because it blocks off and makes a wall with the mountain and the sea tile here. It also stops this BlackBoat from getting past if that is what it wanted to do. I think what VonMountain is doing is using this BlackBoat to stop the opposing BlackBoats from reaching these islands and trying to steal these away. In which case, very well done. Just picking off as many infantry as possible and slowly trying to retreat towards airport. Looking very good for Soblet. Up a ton in unit count, as well as a little bit in econ. Okay. So this, I do like all of these mechs. They definitely need, the BlackBoat needs to come back so it can double pick up over here. And then probably more anti-air is what Soblet is kind of in need of, or maybe some artillery as well. Because anti-air can fight other anti-air pretty decently. It's not quite the same as tanks fighting tanks, but it can still get the job done. Of course, mechs can also beat up anti-air very well. There we go, we have another anti-air on the way. VonMountain does get that capture. And yeah, I'd say VonMountain does have some artillery on the way, which will be very helpful. They're good against fighting infantry, fighting mechs, fighting anti-airs. They do a lot of damage. And they could also be used to actually kill some of these BlackBoats. That's something that either Sammy could do to just win the game, is kill the BlackBoat on the HQ and then victory march. Victory! This is the same map, yeah. The tank over here. VonMountain. Copter triple infantry buy. I like it. It's a good way to try and come back with unit count. Soblet's so good at attacking and keeping everything together at the same time, which is really important when you're dealing with mechs because they don't have very much movement range, so they do need to be almost right next to each other all the time so that they don't just get picked off. So many mech buys, I like it, with the transport copters always waiting. And we do have the breakthrough over here. It looks like the BlackBoat that had been holding down the fort ran away. And VonMountain resigns. I was going to say, this is looking really nasty. The copter's going to get hit by this anti-air unless something blocks. The mechs are going to slam in here. And this little island is super gone. So a really nice opening from Soblet and a good use of T-copters plus mechs to hold the line over here and also pressure over here, trying to stick to this kind of more heavier terrain area with the mountains and the forests and the cities. The only thing I would say is some artillery to help back this up would have been good, and probably a little bit more in the way of anti-airs. But it worked out very nicely. I'm streaming 3 days in a row this week. Okay. Next we got andzx versus Femboy on spring in general. So much Go7. I think that's the good size. Okay, we got a Kindle mirror. There are some very valuable cities to utilize. You can break the pipe seam in 2 turns if you like fire from this city with your artillery. There's artillery spots to lock bases. Luckily, there isn't any property next to a base, so it's not quite a blowout like there could be. But there's still a lot of, not quite like a checker pattern, but still a lot of tiles that you can hit from cities here. This is not high funds, this is just mixed base. See the openings that the players decide to go for here. It looks like And is going for a quick airport. Well, Femboy's going for a faster forward capture, which I would recommend because once this base comes online, it could potentially try and lock you out of these properties. And this property is also pretty highly contested, so going for it early is nice. We have a very fast artillery over here, and an artillery from Femboy over here. So this, to me, would imply a break on the pipe seam. I'm not sure what this artillery is for, unless it was dreaming the dream. It was probably dreaming the dream of locking this airport from across the pipe seam, which would have been amazing. But it's because of this forest right here, it gets there just too slow. Because after 1 turn, it goes to here, 1, 2, 3, out of range. It would have to be Grit or Jake with a normal power or something to get that 1 turn setup. Because it takes 2 turns, the other player is pretty much always going to be able to get the airport in time. Maybe he's trying to lock the comm tower. Going over here. Okay. So that could be interesting. The problem is going to be that if this pipe seam's ever broken, then your artillery is sitting within base range of a tank. But oh, it is going for the comm tower lock, apparently. Or it might be it might be trying to like lock this base from across the mountains. That would be very fancy. Okay, Femboy is going for the break on this pipe seam really quickly. And then we have another artillery here. Okay. That might be for the pipe seam break here, in which case the idea for Femboy is to just kill this base. It's going to be up to And to figure out a way to keep it alive. Yeah, that's a weird place to put the artillery. That, I guess it's trying... It's denying this capture, but it's not really. So what Femboy can do here is just can go with the capture anyway, fire on this pipe seam and build a tank, and then if this artillery stays here to fire on this capturing infantry, the next turn the artillery breaks the pipe seam and the tank comes through and hits the artillery. We have a copter built over here. Try and put some pressure. Artillery. The copter just barely doesn't reach this property. Okay, it looks like that is what Femboy's doing. Yeah, that's exactly what Femboy's doing. Very nice. And we have an anti-air over here. Interesting. I would have thought the anti-air would get built over here, but I guess because this is mixed base and the copter has multiple options, you gotta cover both fronts. So here Ann does go for this attack. It's going to be pretty rough. You're going to need to build a tank here. There we go, to try and cover this artillery. But even then, it's going to be really nasty really quick, because now this base is already locked in combat with this one base, and there's going to be 2 more bases that are going to be able to send forces right over here. Okay, and is going for this capture. Pretty much peaceful for the most part. It's always a debate in this kind of situation whether or not you'd actually want to send your infantry forward to stop the capture. In this case, I probably wouldn't, just because there's so much backing this up, and I would want to preserve these guys to defend the captures that are easier for me. We go bop, bop, build another tank. Looking good. Anti-air moves forward. Copter over here. Question is, does Femboy attack the pipe seam or shoot the infantry? Looks like we attacked the pipe seam. Did attack the pipe seam. Okay, so we have a tank attack here. Now this is still forcing and to build another tank, because this is still within tank range of this base. So there we go. This copter does get an attack over here, out of range of this anti-air. There's no anti-air over here built. Not that they would reach. Femboy did let the city go, which is very good. Okay, so here Femboy's going to have the choice of either finishing off this... Oh, actually, no. Can't do it because there's no comm tower yet. So, the copter should just run around and then build another copter. Probably, as the artillery shoots here. And that will invite 2 copters to start attacking the flank of this base. Which is going to have a very hard time ever affording to build an anti-air, because there's already tanks busting in through this way. While there's the fighting happening over here, being very peaceful on the other fronts, which makes sense because there's so little money available to be invested on them. Ooh, straight to the Neo tank for And. You have 1 lab being captured here. Okay, did break through the pipe seam last turn. Probably would have just kept the copter here to defend the artillery, but I guess it doesn't really matter. The Neo tank doesn't want to attack into artillery range. Okay, tank's back up. Might be seeing a front switch to get away from the Neo tank. Anti-air charging forward. This is a nice spot for it. It's just avoiding infantry being able to surround it. Okay. Oh. Neo tank goes forward to stop the capture. I do like this hit on this artillery in conjunction with this. It's very nice. Femboy could have stopped it by just having something for the artillery. The penguins want blood. Okay. So And has got some fancy little walling going on here to try and keep this copter alive from the flanking anti-airs. I think this works. I mean, anti-air plus infantry should be able to kill the recon, but then the copter's still safe. But I think a lot of these infantry are about to get gobbled up. Okay. We do have a base lock here. Bring in another bring in a neo tank of Femboy's own to face off this one. And this neo tank is just out of range of beating up on any of these artillery. What did this anti-air tank? Just went after this infantry. Recon. Femboy doesn't have the money to build a tank or anything, so just a bunch of infantry trying to face down this anti-air. The Urban Blight. That will hurt this artillery. Actually, it hits a good number of artillery and the copter. Very valuable hits. Neo tank gets a nice free shot. Okay, the attack over here from And with just some infantry and an anti-air looking good. Using this mountain to great effect to stop any interrupts, although an Urban Blight can always interrupt these captures, much like And themselves did. Guys will run away. We hit the Mega Tank bot to hold down this base. Okay, Femboy does go with the Urban Blight. He's actually 6k behind him. Mega tanks, as you can see, very durable to indirect fire. Ooh. Tank managed to do 3 to the Neo tank. Okay. This Neo tank is in range of getting hit. Oh, I see. We have the base build to cover it. So we're gonna lose an artillery here, like so. Ooh, that's a nice smack with just the anti-air due to being able to attack from our property. This copter's days are over. I don't see a way to. Oh, is that enough? This guy can clear here. Oh no, they can always just kill off this guy, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Oh, okay. That is enough to save it from the anti-air. This Neo tank from And I was very skeptical of it at first, but it's actually done a really good job. Okay. Femboy getting some more of these properties. Does clear out these infantry. Pick up another one. A nice tank first strike. We have another Urban Blight come out. Luckily, this Mega Tank is just sitting on a forest. Ooh, Femboy does manage to save this property. Very impressive. Neo tank trying to chase down its rival. Okay, I would probably just retreat with this artillery, but I guess the problem is that it can always get chased down, so I'm just gonna go for the pot shot while I can. Good afternoon. Neo tank, it's having a hard time catching its other half. Okay. Ooh, I would probably not have repaired this mega tank because a 7 health mega tank still one-shots most things. And it was only missing 1 ammo. And it's very costly to repair. And has been doing such a good job with this copter and just keeping away from the anti-air. If this was like a StarCraft or something, it would be like the micro on these units is just so good. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't see a way for Femboy to kill this copter. The infantry have just been blocking too well. Femboy managed to defend on all fronts. Actually get back into this game economically, although still struggling a little bit in the unit value department. Anti-air does get hit. Oh! But the Neo tank can finally hit the other Neo tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably not worth it for And. But we will see. As indeed the first thing that happens. Oh, a devastating attack. Infantry also get cleaned up. Another anti-air gets built. It's looking very good for Femboy. The attack on this lone base did kind of run into some issues, but some properties were still captured. It's not the end of the world. And tries to save Neo tank. Copter just out of range of the anti-air as always. My gosh. So these are called, essentially, they're called free hits anytime you can have a unit come in and hit another unit while not being hit by like a counter. In this case, anti-air for the copter. It's a free hit, and that comes down to the coverage that the person with the anti-air has. It can be tricky. Copters are very tricky with their ability to fly. The mega tank is in range of this base. Okay, I like this setup. It's very cute. So the mega tank can come up and kill this artillery, but then it's in range of being hit by a Neo tank and an artillery shot. I mean, the mega tank will live that, but it'll still be pretty painful. Buying a mega tank of Femboy's own might have been the better option, though. Although I guess the fear might have been, well, you can still do the same setup except using a mega tank. So like, the fear of like an urban blight and then the mega tank getting an amazing hit wouldn't be too likely. Okay, so if we look at this setup, it looks like all of Femboy's units in range of these battlecopters are now covered by these anti-airs. Mega tank does just back off. We have the urban blight. Yep, this poor Neo tank. Looks like this capture is going to go to And unless there's an Urban Blight and then some sort of way of delaying it. Down goes that copter. Did both copters die? Did this one, where did it go? Oh, it just ran over here. Okay. Okay, Femboy going for the central captures. Looks like we'll have a property exchange over there. This mega tank. The very bold units here, just walking right into range of the mega tank. I dare you. You won't let me clear the backlog. Whoa. Mega tank, no fear. Kills off an infantry. Ooh. What is going on here? Copter comes in, hits this artillery. I guess to try and stop it from denying this. But it does die for that. A breakthrough over here. I mean, this looks very much like Femboy's about to have a great turn. Could just be missing something. I think this copter just kind of dies. Femboy could have used Urban Blight and gotten a little more firepower for this attack, but I don't think it would super matter. It's really hard to attack into base range, so I'm not quite sure why And is so willing to do so. I'm also surprised there wasn't an Urban Blight this turn. I guess Femboy is saving it. Ooh, we do have a fancy little surround on the mega tank, although I suspect infantry plus tank can clear it. Okay. This is very threatening for this mega tank. And does have another Urban Blight to pop. Gets this down to 3. Goes for the comm tower capture. Hits it down to 2. Hits it down to 1. Oh, so what And needed to do there is attack with the tank first. Because if you attack with the tank first, the tank dies. And that gives you another tile to attack from. But as is, yeah, the mega tank is about to be in a world of hurt. It is on a forest, so it has some defensive terrain bonuses going for it. Or Neo Tank. Although I don't know if it's worth losing a full health copter for a 1 health Neo Tank. I guess it's the message, really. You're gonna use High Society? We're gonna use High Society. Bam. Bam. Kablam. Some decent attacks. I don't know if High Society was needed, but it helped there. In comparison to Urban Blight, it mattered in a few places. It mattered there too. The bomber buy. It's always really annoying because the bomber does reach the space on buy. I guess the opponent did have the defense boost from having a power active. Okay, this is a really bad setup for And. Although It would be a really, really bad setup if Femboy had Urban Blight, because then Bomber would one-shot this, and then the 1 health copter would block this other anti-air from saving the day. Okay. Comm tower is saved. Bomber comes up here, kills off a tank. Gets saved. Some more attacks over here. Right. We have a bunch of artillery starting to move in as a way to kill the base for sure. Alright, now Femboy is way ahead. Only 1k up in income. Somehow didn't get this city. But ended the turn 40k up in unit value, which is really good. We do have another mega tank built though. Okay. Bomber might come over here to try and ward off this mega tank. It only has a movement of 4, so it doesn't cover everything. Oh no. Bomber is on its way over here. With another bomber. That's really bad news for this base. Because now there's 2 bombers looking at it, and they can kill any anti-air that's built. You kind of need a fighter or more anti-airs coming in from another front to save the day here. Let's see what And does. Can't even build like, I guess you could build like anti-air and then a cruiser here, and then those 2 cover each other. Or no, that doesn't quite work. You'd also have to move your mega tank down here. The base is doomed, and it recognizes it, builds an infantry. Infantry lined up to start capturing it next turn. I'm surprised the And never broke this pipe seam. As you can see, it's very powerful. Ooh. And with their own plan here. Now, sadly, these artillery aren't very safe because it's in range of an artillery and there's a tank here, so I don't think this is quite going to work out. But I like the idea of just trying to go for a base trade. Mega tank survives. Arguably, you just keep that mega tank at low health, using like Urban Blight to have those repair costs go up. Looks like Femboy's trying to get to high society again. Looks like we're just gonna use Urban. Yeah. I was gonna say Urban Blight over here, I feel like is a must. And then indeed we'll want to produce mega tanks. There's nothing over here that can really deal with the mega tank. The copter can harass it for a bit, but that's pretty much it. I would not be surprised if Femboy built a fighter. The copter give a little bit of an attack through here, but at this point it looks like the game is pretty much in the bag. I don't see this base falling against what's currently attacking it. And there are some reinforcements coming in from another front and everything. So the medium tank. I think an anti-air probably would have been fine. Attack here. Ooh. The Neo tank finishing off the Mega tank there. That's pretty nice. Attack through here and then And resigns. I mean, the attack The attack against this base was going pretty well. The main problem is that there's not going to be an easy way to capture it for quite a while. There's nothing coming that can deal with the copter attacks. Yeah, I agree. I think the 2 artillery just kind of moving into range like that was a pretty big mistake. GG. That and never breaking these pipe seams really hurt Anne's aggression. Yeah, the bombers are bearing down. Okay. The request of DJ's games on hold. Christian has asked for that game to be put on hold, so we will put KiryZan next. CatWithYarn. Enjoy our game. Got Koal versus Jess. Welcome, Femboy, for the submission. Yeah, this is the 4th ever league game he ever did. We'll see how it goes. I still think transport copters are pretty strong on this map. It does look like both players are pretty new to the map because they have the BlackBoats just kind of chilling on the comm towers rather than... There we go. This one's coming back to pick someone up. This one isn't quite yet. Infantry are forced to walk on their own, but we do have the transport copter built for both players, which is really good. And we'll see how they kind of decide. Okay, now here is the BlackBoat. Just a little bit delayed there, but CatWithYarn figured it out. We had a double drop-off over here, but only a single one down here, right? I do like the double drop-off more. There's a lot of properties to be going for. The comm tower definitely does not need to be rushed. It's going to be quite a while before you have any real conflict. So the way the CatWithYarn handled this is a lot what I would prefer, rather than going for both of these comm towers at the same time like this, so early. The problem is that comm towers don't give you any money. So while it's not bad to have the comm towers, it's that you captured comm towers instead of capturing a property. So it kind of costs you money to go for these instead of something else. So the way that CatWithYarn is doing this is something I would prefer. It looks like we might have a setup to break this pipe seam. Same with over here with KiryZan, which will definitely help this base do more stuff on both sides. Looks like we're going to fire from this over here. The mech is coming back. Oh, I thought the mech was going to help with the pipe seam. It's coming back to hop into the BlackBoat. Gotcha. We do have some conflict over here. So now would be a great time. It looks like CatWithYarn's capturing this one. We'll soon be capturing this. Now is kind of the time that you're going to want to start getting the comm towers, because the first fights have begun. Now, there's a lot of infantry currently, so this is actually going to be one of those times where just having weaker infantry is hurting quite a bit in fog, where typically that doesn't come into play too much, but at least on this map so far, there is a lot of infantry on infantry combat. Now the double comm tower does help Jess there, because now it's like she's a regular CO with a single comm tower. Blood has been shed. Yeah, I'm surprised that this hasn't been gone for yet. Now that there's a lot of conflict, although the vehicles haven't started fighting yet, so you can get away with delaying it more if you're investing your infantry and like going for captures instead. But once these tanks start hitting each other, then that firepower difference is going to start really starting to be felt. This tank somehow avoided getting hit from the city. The lucky tank. Ooh, I like the placement of this copter. Well, I did until the recon was... I saw the recon was here. Now it's not such a good placement. Usually you want to keep your copters hidden in fog. You never know just how forward those anti-airs can be, and it would be really unfortunate if what happened here is copter moves forward, anti-air comes up, kills copter, tank comes over, and then hits the artillery, which would be very likely. And I would not want to have that happen to anyone. So sad. Jess doesn't get this kill. If Jess was anyone else with normal infantry, if you have double comm tower, you'd always get that kill. Jess doesn't have that that power privilege. Yeah, usually Jess has a lot of recons for Fog of War to help with all the infantry fighting. So far, I think only CatWithYarn. No, there's one here. CatWithYarn had a recon, but I think it got taken out. The new one, though. Oh, one shot? Pop. It did have a little bit of chip on it. Still, quite the swing. A triple mech walking out over here. The mechs are pretty good with Koal because he gives them +1 movement. Or +2 if he uses his super. Some speculate Sammy to be tier 2 on this map even? Dang. That is a very hard sell to me. But this is a lot of infantry combat. Okay. Here we go. Jess is now in many vehicle buy mode. There goes a copter. Okay, usually if you're gonna use a power like adders or coals, you just don't move, or if you think you might use a power, you just don't move any of your non-combat units until after you decide, because they could be moving a whole other 50% farther, a whole other tile. Which often ends up mattering quite a bit. Okay, I'm not quite sure on that power, but things are looking very good for CatWithYarn regardless. Okay, Jess answered with a power as well, which I am so far also not thinking was super great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was not needed. Was it needed for this tank? No. Okay. So they both kind of somewhat whiffed powers at each other. Not a problem. I would not use the copter here, because there's an anti-air right there, but I mean, it should be possible to block the way. Good attack happening up here. I am surprised that this anti-air did not get that kill with +30% firepower attacking from the road. I know it has +10% defense. Wow, okay, very daring CatWithYarn. There is a side open to hit this, but I mean, it looks like from KiryZan's perspective that it's sort of walled off. Never mind. I mean, that's still a positive trade for CatWithYarn because tank, assuming CatWithYarn can kill both, then that's still a good trade. Yeah, the power defense did make it so the anti-air didn't kill. Yeah, the unit count is looking very good for CatWithYarn. I think most of it's infantry. Got 3 infantry above, 3 mechs above, so that's 6 of it. A lot more tanks too. Pop, pop. Yeah, I should be able to kill both of these guys off. Ooh, an aggressive comm tower capture. Not sure why this infantry didn't run down here. I guess it was just going for vision checks. Trying to spot where is the enemy hiding. Looks like we're in another mech. We got tank, tank, tank. Copter over here. This is look. I mean, tank plus copter is always a very solid unit composition to buy. As artillery placement, it does have very fragile little walls. But it's nicely covered, so... I mean, this is going to end very well for CatWithYarn. KiryZan starts shifting down here. I think CatWithYarn is going to maybe get the super and attack in here, or maybe just use the normal power. Ooh, we have the Jess stealth. I do like Jess stealths. She gets to refuel them with her power, so they don't have that same vulnerability that other stealths do. You have the normal power here. Oof. One shot, kill the artillery. Finish it off with a nice repair. Down goes that tank. Recon interrupts the capture. The copter gets taken out. Infantry gets taken out. This looks very nice. Oof, the artillery that was gonna deny this comm tower long term. This is looking scary for KiryZan because next turn this infantry is gonna join cap here. And this comm tower is also under threat. This stealth has got a lot of work ahead of it. We have a join cap here. Tank strike. Tank strike the copter can't reach. Infantry gets knocked down to 2. Ooh. Medium tank does get the kill. The mech does get interrupted on the city. But yeah, KiryZan's almost completely out of units. Oh no. Should move the stealth and then use the super so it gets its fuel back. I guess it's fine, it already has an APC buddy. The join cap, that's going to be really hard to stop. Pretty much cleared out KiryZan's presence over here. We have a copter on copter strike. Oh no, we're almost out of fuel on the port transfer copter, but it's nicely set up to pick up this guy next turn. KiryZan charging forward. Oh no! The stealth is not stealthed. So, if a stealth isn't stealthed, it can be hit just like a fighter could be hit. If it is stealthed, then it can only be hit by fighters and other stealths. But now, in this position, it can still be hit by anti-airs. Ooh. Knocked down to 3. That does stop the comm tower cap. For now. And then KiryZan resigns. Yeah. I think that resigns pretty fair. Way behind in the unit count, and the seeing this anti-air here and the stealth unstealthed. Yeah. GG. The mechs ended up doing some nice stuff. I'd say Koal was a decent pick. Oh. Let me take a nice quick drink of water. Yeah, I think Adder might have been a little bit better for you there, because you never used like the super. You did use the roads a fair bit though. Oh my gosh, it's an eagle mirror. Eagle mirrors be the worst, man. On Dark Rising. We'll see what the approach is here. You can kill the recons, these recons off really quickly if you want, using like artillery. You can also try and kill them off with mechs if you're a cheapskate. Quackerduck's going for the quick kill with the artillery. You can also, and so is, okay, they're doing the same thing in there. You can also ignore it if you're very daring. It's not what I prefer, because I really dislike having people know what my lone base is building, because it just leaves you very vulnerable to being harassed. And that seems to be what Quackerduck also feels like. I don't like this tank being built here. I don't like that information being handed to Nightmare. It could have just been built for this turn and it would still be fine. It would still cover everything it needs to cover. But it does... What basically, because the tank got built here, like artillery and then tank, Nightmare knows that there's no attack happening on the other side of the map and can kind of do whatever they want for a few turns. The artillery ready to cover these infantry. Recon backup. An artillery built way down here. Okay. That's a weird buy. Unless it's trying to go over to this front or something. Just because usually this is like the place you'd want to build infantry. And then you have vehicles built in the other places. You change my bio to rank 3 with Tortured beat Nightmare today. Gotcha. Don't worry, I'll change my bio once I'm surpassed. I have no shame in recognizing the ratings. Okay. T-copter from Nightmare, kind of a delayed T-copter. It's a really delayed T-copter. I'm not quite sure what its goal is, but I would say that the capture game is going more in Nightmare's favor so far. Being able to deny this property, or I guess both of these properties are also denied. Interesting. The capture just moves over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. It's not super like optimal in terms of like, what would you call it? Movement utility, where the infantry is only spending 2 to get to the copter instead of 3. It doesn't really matter. It just wasn't able to be set up. The river. Okay. Cracker Duck kills the recon, then uses infantry to... Interesting. The recon hasn't done anything yet. No? Well, I'm fine with killing the recon and this strike. But then you definitely hit here and probably here. Maybe not. I mean, the worry would be that Nightmare either has another artillery, which you'd probably see with the recon, or a tank. But there's going to be a tank covering this anyway, so I think it would be totally fine to go in here. Cracker Duck's being a little bit cautious, though. Which is definitely to Nightmare's benefit. We do have a bit of a tank engagement over here with artillery backup. Triple tank for Nightmare, though. Pop. Treat. Infantry starts capturing. Tank just blocks. Staying out of the artillery range, I guess? I'm not a huge fan of this play. I mean, I think I'd be more in favor of this play if we just ignored this part. Like, I don't like the infantry and the tank here. I guess it's okay because this tank is covered by this artillery. Ooh, and straight to the Neo-tank buy. You didn't want to break the tank chain. Gotcha. Usually I don't worry too much about the tank chain unless I know I'm actively moving into a tank-on-tank fight. Obviously here, we've got a lot of tanks grouped together at this point. But I can understand that reasoning. Recon gets found out. Artillery did escape with its life. The charge is starting to get up there. He just denies over here. Interesting. Nothing even went after this tank. Oh, I see the copter can't quite reach the... This would not be a safe spot to attack from. Although, I don't think Cracker Duck would know that. I guess Cracker Duck just assumed that there was an anti-air range, which makes sense. Ooh, Nightmare's like, aha, now is my chance to go after this artillery. And the tanks. Smack. Smack. Always have to be careful, of course, because you'd hate to attack and then get absolutely wiped out by a lightning strike. But Nightmare is a very experienced Eagle player, so I would not expect a bit of a blunder. It is true that the copters are risky against Eagle because of how effective his anti-airs are. I mean, I like the Neo tank. And the reason why Eagle's anti-airs are so effective is because they get to it with Lightning Strike. They one-shot stuff, and so they get to kill 2 copters in 1 turn, and the like that. They also have tons of range to chase down air units. As well as, of course, break through like infantry walls. I would probably have more than one. Probably would have built an anti-air last turn, but maybe not. Anti-air kills copter. Start to fall back. Neo tank, no fear. Charging forward. think it's actually dodging all of the vision, although I don't think Nightmare knew that. I could be wrong. It has dodged all the vision. So 3 bars is something that Eagle should definitely be able to reach, should Eagle wish. So at both times, or for both players here, I would expect them to see Lightning Strike as something that's on the table. With an attack like that, it would definitely seem like Nightmare is going to go for the Lightning Strike. Maybe not. Maybe just no fear, send the Neotank forward on a missile platform. Wow, okay, it was just no fear, send the Neotank forward on a missile platform. And then kind of fall towards the middle and back. Now, Eagle in Fog, you do always have an information gap. And something that people often do against Eagle is to try and get Eagle to do a Lightning Strike against like a much smaller force. He can either answer the Neo or he can't. That's a very dangerous mindset. It's just like, well, I either lose the game here or I don't. It's fine. Definitely having a Lightning Strike coming here. If Quackerduck doesn't Lightning Strike here, then that would be quite the play. And we do have the Lightning Strike. He'll be able to kill off quite a few units. The Neotank might actually survive, depending on how the rolls go. I think it is going to survive at 3. Everything else would like to attack. Oh. So, I think what happened here is Quackerduck might have had a move order hiccup. Because the copter lost vision. Because I'd prefer to have this tank hit this artillery. Personally, this tank does. What? Okay, well, I'm not the biggest fan of Quackerduck's Lightning Strike. And then the thing to keep in mind about Lightning Strike is that you pretty much always have to overextend when you do it. The Neotank soaking 6 attacks. Well, like 4 of those attacks were from units that didn't have other targets. Okay, so while Quackerduck had to use a lot of like movement and sometimes entire turns for units just to get into range, because of the overextension, Nightmare doesn't have to do that and instead gets to use the Lightning Strike pretty much purely on aggression here to help make up for the lost units. You have the fancy Lightning Strike double repair from the BlackBoat. You'd love to see it. Right there gets another kill on a copter. You got that tank. You got that copter recon. Looking pretty good. You can see how even though Quackerduck got that first Lightning Strike, there was just enough distance that Nightmare was able to strike back to the overextension. I'll never defeat the backlog. So Quackerduck didn't... Maybe did get one city out of that? Maybe not. Just a huge exchange of units. Surprised that both of these copters went in for this attack, because there's like the anti-air didn't die, he just got hit once. Which is gonna run away. Okay. This is like the nightmare signature is get hit and just run away and hope that the opponent decides to overextend further. It does mean that Quackerduck gets some more money. Doesn't decide to overextend further, just accepts the free hits that were granted. Nightmare's like, well, no, I didn't say you could take that city, though. Like, I know I backed up, but not... Oh, come on. I'm only giving away so much. Okay. More anti-airs. I like it. 4 anti-airs is probably enough. Although Quackerduck has been shown to have quite a few copters. And hitting the artillery in the woods. I'm not a huge fan of this attack. I mean, I guess this is kind of an even trade. Like, that's not... Tank for a 7 health artillery. Yeah, it's just kind of overextending into Nightmare. Like a very obvious one. There's lots of units just sitting here. Okay. Pop, pop, pop. Looking good. Nightmare had full vision of this, so does know about this artillery. Assuming Nightmare's watching the replay, as I would expect. So yeah, that definitely went in Nightmare's favor, although it does give more charge to Quackerduck. Oh, Quackerduck is insistent here. Attacks in again. I do like the attack on the left-hand side here, just because there's been so much stuff shown in the center here for Nightmare. Okay. Artillery strike, take out the tank, get up the infantry, hold the city. Oh, Nightmare is so cautious. Like, I am not extending past this line. Does get hit by an artillery here on this tank. Okay, we're at the 3 bars area for Quackerduck at this point. Although this is the second super, so it does take more. But there's always going to be that danger of, like, a few units can sacrifice themselves and suddenly you get absolutely wiped by Eagle Super. But also Nightmare's in that range as well at this point. Oh! Okay, Quackerduck might need to chill. Okay, well, if Nightmare wants to, can definitely get a super. I'm not sure if Nightmare wants the super right now, though. Does send the 1 health copter forward to check. I mean, there's still quite a few healthy tanks, so 1 copter here, 1 over here. I mean, Nightmare might go for the super. Okay, Nightmare's definitely going for the super. Does get to take out that artillery. That is really nice. I like it. not unloading the infantry so they can continue to be transported with a lightning strike. Ooh, I like this repair for the setup on hitting this tank. Okay. Blam. Infantry finishes that off. Do go after this anti-air. Copter just checking these woods. Got the kill on that anti-air as well. Okay, this lightning strike is looking really nice. I take back what I was saying about doubting it. So here Quacker Duck is like, ouch, that hurt a lot. And probably doesn't lightning strike back right away. Because there's not a ton in range here. Especially on the left. But with an attack like this, it kind of implies that we are going to lightning strike directly back. I mean, it's very dangerous, of course, to not lightning strike immediately in response, because then when you do lightning strike, your opponent will get a ton of charge. And anti-air's not even to die. Yeah, that was definitely a good exchange for Nightmare. And probably be able to get some cities off of this. After the hit. The anti-air isn't able to kill off the copter. It tried though. Nightmare does back up. Huge unit count advantage. Okay, Quacker Duck does have an income advantage and is trying to hold on to that. But again, it's just having to extend so far. Because Nightmare, of course, just backing up on this side. They kill off a ton of units. Have to sacrifice a copter for that. And the medium tank has just been ignored. Yeah, this is looking really good for Nightmare. The man, Quacker Duck, no fear, always charging forward. And normal power into resign. Oof. So I think Quacker Duck had that game. They just got a little too antsy. Just attacking forward, trying to build charge, but having to overextend to do that. And that the patience of Nightmare ends up paying off to get the victory. Very nice. Someone has to like playing Eagle. And someone is not me. Okay, we got Jaeben versus RBD21. And a Jake mirror on Brush with Death. So Jake is the most common tier 4 pick here, just because indirects get used a lot here, and he's able to give them that extra range. Be very impactful. We have a very fast artillery, as is to be expected. Although usually you have tank first, because it can actually like harass stuff. Yeah, artillery followed by tank, sure. Double artillery from Jaeben. I have had some thoughts of using Adder to try and get like a really critical side slip normal power early by building a copter and having essentially forcing their missile to fire on it. But I figure the setup is it's not quite what I would like. So this is the artillery wasn't here quite fast enough to stop this capture. This is the LVJD lock to get the artillery here before the infantry gets this capture and then fire on it. Artillery, very gutsy. Well, barely out of range of this tank. Although it has double tank backup, so it's kind of fine. So this kind of situation happens a lot on this map, where you just have artillery staring at each other. You don't have to do it this way. There are other ways of playing the map. You can try and use this little island to overload the one base. You can break the pipe seam really quick to connect these bases and all that fun stuff. A rocket should be built pretty soon to kill off this missile. Although, as Jake, you can do it with an artillery. You go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, the normal power. You won't kill it, but you'll injure it, and then you can build a copter. Ooh, the artillery does look like it's aiming at the pipe. Artillery shot on this infantry. Okay, a bit of an encroachment down here from Jaeben. RB21 now has both of the comm towers. Also starts encroaching in this area. Ooh. Alright, Jaeben pulling the trigger. Killing this tank. And busting forward with the artillery. Saying like, you gotta back off, man. This tank can go here. I mean, it's gonna be a bloody battle for sure. RB21 do shoots the opposing artillery, shoots the tank, hits the tank. So in finishes off the tank, and then I assume hits the infantry, and then brings this one over. It was attacking the pipe seam. It could fire on the pipe seam again, build a copter. Oh, you can't build a copter because there hasn't been the rocket to kill off the missile. Oh no. RB21 has to abandon the pipe seam break. Doesn't have the spare cash to build the rocket. Okay. It's starting to look like a pretty good breakthrough for Jaeben, although I mean, these artillery will be really happy to fire over here. There wasn't like a join cap here. And we probably won't see the normal power. It would let this artillery shoot this one. But it doesn't help over here. Oh, never mind. I take it back. We are going to see the normal power. I guess it does shoot that tank. Full on attack over here, huh? I think I probably would have held on to that for one turn. Although, I don't know, maybe moving the artillery here is signaling way too hard that you're going to go for a beatdown. You can always bluff that you're going for a beatdown with that. I don't know. That's a weird choice. just because this artillery can shoot this tank and no other. Goes after the infantry instead. And we have just a beatdown from Jaeben. Oh, Jaeben had the artillery placed here. Oh, that does one shot. Okay, never mind. And put the artillery here, getting ready to break the pipe. I'm surprised that one shot the missile. It even had a power boost on its defense. I guess there is double comm tower. Wait. The missile got killed, but no copter got built? That's just weird. Ooh, RB21 breaks through, gets to hit this artillery. Bring in the artillery buddies. You guys are all out of range of protecting that city. It's not about the copter, it's about sending a message. Yeah, I guess so. Tank is taken out. I mean, I would 100% be like going here or something to break this pipe. Like, I know this artillery fired on the pipe. This artillery is attackable. And if the pipe doesn't get broken, then you're gonna be really sad. Okay, it looks like the RB21 not gonna attack here? What? If you hit this, the pipe doesn't get broken and these units are stranded. What? That's a huge blunder. Okay, well now Jaeben does get to break the pipe seam and introduce some more units into this fight. In they go. Up. Again, only the one copter buy. Now RB21 did do the same signaling of a beatdown there. Top base is cleared. That's very, very bad for Jaeben. Attack over here. Same time. Wow. Did all of these artillery get to fire? Wow. I mean, that's one of the best beatdowns I think I've seen. It worked out very well for RB21. And then Jaeben resigns. Yeah, I mean, I would also resign in at that spot. The copter's surrounded by just infantry. The base is super dead. And the attack down here isn't going well either. GG. Even when letting the pipe seam get broken. But yeah, anyway, that's why Jake is like the #1 tier 4 pick on this map. It's very artillery heavy, and it's very good. We have a game from Palmer. Skip plays because you just got served. What? That is something that Jake would say. He had no shame with that slang. Got an Andy mirror on Marengo. I think that's a Jake victory quote. Okay, so Marengo is somewhat solved in the opening with its APC opener that Zeronix pioneered. I've heard that there's apparently some sort of recon opening that does something, but I've yet to see it have much success. But Palmer's going with a tank opening. Now, tank openings are always safe, but they're just going to have less economic viability in comparison to the APC opener, because the tank takes so long to get anywhere, while the infantry are already like capturing all of these properties that nowhere close for Palmer. APC just pays off so much. Ooh, we go for the T-copter for Palmer, though. Now, I've experimented with T-copter openings on this map to try and come up with like a rival to the APC opener, and they can do stuff, but the problem is a lot of people often get a really fast battlecopter, and a battlecopter will one-shot a T-copter. It will not one-shot an APC. APC is the meta here. It got trapped. Bop bop. So this is like a poison city, in my experience. You even with the APC, you're like approaching so close to it. You're like, oh, I can just chain into it. But the opponent is always able to interrupt. So the best thing to do is to, instead of trying to take this city, which Debbie was not trying to do here, is instead just trying to deny this city and make your opponent just lose everything trying to take it. Because if you try and take it as this player, then you'll just lose everything. Okay, the Palmer tank does get to beat up this recon, which is nice. We do have a copter on the way. There's been an anti-air built. Both build them on the same turn. We have a mech. It's gotta be a little bit. I guess the mech moves here. Oh man, there's just one movement away from each other, matching up to steal the base. That is really good. You can just stand here and there's no way to break through. A nice effective blocker. Another recon barely lives. Palmer gets the captures the comm tower and denies this comm tower, which is nice. See, this is where things, if only there was vision, you could deny it. The tank could hit, but there's this tank to hit back. It might be worth going for this attack, maybe. You are Andy after all. You can survive a tank first strike, as long as it's just one. Not going for it, that's fine. Okay, infantry is taken out. Two low health recons here. Of course, this is an Andy mirror, so they're both looking to preserve their own units while finishing off opponents. Okay, I would probably advise bringing in some artillery on this side. Oh, there we go. Look at that. To help hold and push. I do like Andy mechs as well, although I would prefer if they got transported places. Mechs are just beefy enough to survive some hits that infantry can't, and then they get healed up due to the anti-power, anti-super. Basically, anti-airs will still kill mechs at the same rate that they kill infantry, but medium tanks won't, as well as other units. But medium tanks won't be one-shotting the mechs like anti-airs do. So you can have some pretty crafty plans. And then when your super comes around, the mechs get healed up, but they get that +1 move, and then they get a firepower boost. They're very happy. Speaking of medium tank, we have one right here. We also have a very gutsy attack coming in here. Now this is, as I said, a poison property, so we'll see if it works out. Anti-air does get to kill this copter. Tank gets to come in and hit this artillery. I assume this infantry is going to interrupt this capture. If it doesn't, then this worked out pretty decently for Palmer. What? Okay, so Palmer just gets the property. I think the idea is if the infantry hits here, it doesn't stop the capture because Palmer can just use the super to get it. But that also kind of forces Palmer to use the super, and you usually, if you can force them to use it on somewhat your terms, you're usually happier. Although, I mean, the Palmer super is already looking pretty good. Oh, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Okay. Palmer's up by 5k. Very nice. Capture's coming in here. And again, these ones, you do have to hit down below 5. Otherwise, Devio will just pop the super and complete the captures. Okay. Here. The mech moving. This mech moving to here means that there's probably not going to be an anti-super. If there is an anti-super, it's a really sad mech because it could have gone here or here and had actual targets. Okay, looks like we're just gonna let these properties go. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. There's kind of an intimidating force closing in on this HQ. Now, if you want to go for an HQ cap on this map, I would highly recommend bringing a fighter along, or you can bring either a bomber or a fighter. I would prefer a fighter over a bomber, just because it's a better blocker, but the bomber does do other things. Because if you notice, the route that the defender has to take, it's like through this pass, or they have to go around the mountain. So a fighter can just kind of zoom in, stand right here, and nothing can one-shot it. A bomber could still be one-shot by an anti-air with a super, but the fighter won't be. And there's only this one tile really for them to attack from. They'd have to zoom around like this and this with anti-airs, which is not very likely. So it's just kind of a pro tip for the HQ caps on this map. You can bring a fighter along and ruin someone's day. And another thing that's nice about the fighter is it's so fast. It goes to here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's already like in range. It has copters to attack if need be. Okay. Artillery has been spotted. The mech could hit it. The medium tank can probably hit it with the super. Will probably one-shot it. And then the mech can go after like the recon. Might not see the super though. Oh, we do see the super. We'll save this property. Ooh, we're not going after the artillery though. Okay. No, we are going after the artillery. I would probably have killed the APC. Just because Knocking this guy down to 3, it heals back up to 8. It's not a huge deal. Killing off a unit. I mean, you do lock it in like this. I think I would just have this guy kill off the artillery and then go after the tank. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. You save the city. A nice little wall of units here. WO is going in, this is kind of the attack first and then super after to heal up. Maybe we're not even going to super. And we do. Oh no, it's the normal power. Whoa. The APC. And then the APC deletes itself. I mean, I would probably keep it around just because it does occupy some units. You're giving very minimal charge to your opponent. The reason he deleted it is because he doesn't want you to get charge off of killing it. But you'll get like barely any charge. And instead you have like the artillery's free to move, other stuff's free to move instead. You know, whatever you would have used to kill it. I guess it would have been infantry. Okay. A line forming up here. Things are looking very good for Palmer. 35 units to 21. Not that they know that necessarily. They'll see some stats, but they won't see the exact standings. Trying to break through here. Or anti-air has no targets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. A 5 health medium tank. That's what Andy loves to see. Trapped in the recon, I like it. Okay. Back up, oh, repair it, okay. It's somewhat wasted money, somewhat not. Depends on how it's going to end up getting used. Okay, it looks like Devio has managed to stabilize down here at the HQ, but so has Palmer definitely over here. Ooh, Palmer's pushing for some captures. Medium tank went in for a smack. Covered by the artillery, it's looking pretty nice. Copter doesn't have the greatest of options. Strike over here. There could be a super available for Devio, but it doesn't look like a very good one. Well, this might mean that the medium tank dies, in which case that's pretty good. Killing off the infantry that are going for the HQ is also pretty important. Oof. You hate to see the copter having to dive in like that. Oh no. See, that's the kind of attack you hate to do, right? So that a full health tank zooms in, it hits an artillery to 3, but the artillery's on a city, so it healed to 5, and then Andy hits the super and it's back to full, and you just lose your tank for nothing. Oh no, didn't get the kill on the medium tank. Yeah, Palmer just hits super and wins the game. Basically. Whenever he wants to. There we go. Just wanted to get some value hits in there. Schmackety. Schmackety. Schmackety, schmackety. This front. Capture even gets denied. Copter surrounded. We got captures coming in. This over here, Devio still has some fight left, but this top is just super dead. Yeah, Devio resigns. That's a fair resign. Did manage to stabilize at the HQ, kinda, but the top is super gone. The North anti-air is just gonna left behind your lines. GG. Got Sophie versus Parrots. Ooh. Parrots going to be yellow comment in this case. Can I add the Jess versus Jess one back into the queue? I might. Yeah, we got Jake versus Grimm. Now, I would say this is definitely favored to Jake, but Grimm can still get some stuff done. This is Fog after all. He has an easier time here. So, even though Jake has like a nice movement boost over Grimm, it's not quite so bad. Just because the Fog protects you and the woods protect you and everything. We do have the early T-Copter opening. I do like my T-Copter openings. Sophie was kind of on top of this, though. Has this recon ready. We have double Grimm recon following this T-Copter with a tank way behind. Whoa, 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 whoa. The recon does not attack the transport copter here. You go after the infantry. A 6 health transport copter transports infantry just as well as a full health one. That was a very weird attack. I'm somewhat surprised that the infantry didn't just go to cap the property. I think it would have been a very convincing bluff to just cap the property and in front of the recon be like, yeah, I got a tank on the way. Tanks zooming forward here. They don't quite have the vision they need to find their targets. This guy very barely dodged them. Recon, man, that recon really hated that transport copter. Brought it down to 1. But the 1 health transport copter can still transport just as well. So, maybe a little daring. I probably would have sent it back. Yeah, this infantry can just walk to here to go for this capture, so I would send this guy back to just bring more infantry to the front lines. Transport copters can't hide in the woods. Although, it will probably live unless Sophie's willing to give up the comm tower capture to kill it. Nice attacks over here, but this does give information to Parrots that 2 tanks are way over here on the side of the map. So attacks elsewhere should have some more merit. Great attack there. Ooh, not quite out of range of the tank if the infantry gets taken out, but I like the idea of blocking with the infantry regardless. Okay, this T-Copter, I don't know what's going on with it. It goes back, it picks up more guys. You can bring mechs over to plop in the woods. It doesn't just run up and die. Okay. Good breakthrough here. Get the hit on that tank. Sophie already running out of infantry. 9 to 11. Follow-up tank shot. I guess both of these tanks could reach. 3 wasn't quite able to get the kill. Poor Grimm. Down goes the copter. Down goes the infantry. This casual Grimm stuff, just one-shotting infantry on the roads. Or on the road. Recon. Anti-air does get bopped. Recon gets targeted over the tanks. That is pretty rare. It is it's like annoying to lose the vision, but the tanks are kind of the thing that will win the fights in the end. Okay, do have some copters on their way here for Parrots. Does get to hit that infantry, get some more captures. They kill off this infantry, kill off that infantry. Oh. Sophie's almost out of them. A little daring with this anti-air. I probably would just use the injured tank. And I'd like to keep the anti-airs around to fight copters. We got the block rock from Sophie. So we're going to see a lot of damage dealt. Movement boost. So here, the general idea is to attack with your furthest back units first so that they don't have targets. They don't lose their targets. Because like these guys, they might have a ton of targets forward in the darkness that end up scouting out as their turn goes on. But this guy's pretty much just got this tank. I mean, there's also this infantry, but yeah, we prefer to have that guy go after the tank and then these guys also go after tanks. This tank, for instance. It's just something to keep in mind. Parrots looking very healthy with this income. Uses the super. You have quite a few attacks here. Tank barely survives. Copter hits tank down to 2. 9 health tank has to finish this off. Okay, I don't like the super. That could have been done without even a normal power. I mean, I guess this guy would have taken a little bit more damage, but super was not needed. Okay. Ooh. A very aggressive way of trying to take out that copter. I think I would have just stuck with the anti-air. I don't like losing or sending like the full health tank after like a 3 health copter. Okay. I like running back into the woods. It makes your infantry really annoying to deal with. There goes the anti-air looking good. Anti-air kills off this infantry, and we still have tanks and copters to take out these guys. Ooh, okay. Interrupt the capture, sure. Kill off that tank, that works out. This tank still survives, but interrupting the capture is very valuable. Copter runs up, it does reveal this anti-air. It gets one-shotted from the planes. It's going to be a very annoying infantry to deal with for Parrots. This overall central situation is kind of in Grimm's favor. Lots of units in range to get beat up. He goes for the strike to deny by capture. This is a little weird. I would not want to attack or move into range of this tank. You can move over to here and then move this other guy into the forest and wait for the tank to have to move past. Because it does have a central fight it wants to get to, and then go for the captures. The medium tank, copter, medium tank, recon. Did Parrots like skip up by last turn or something? No, it's just that much cash is saved up. Dang. All right. It does start going for this capture. Is that a copter? Is it a tank? Okay. Nothing can reach. So if he does get this, he clears it up. Medium tanks on their way. Plus tank comes off that infantry. Then we have the normal power used. Is that to one-shot the copter? And beat up the tank. Okay. That's not so bad. One-shotting the copter, killing that tank, it's nice. Definitely gives some really annoying vision problems too. I do like the Parrots has a recon. Block rock from Sophie. I like it though. Moving the furthest back unit first. You like to see it. Does this copter go down? There is no charge to Parrots for this. It gets taken out. That was definitely a good block rock, given the situation. Ooh. I guess the medium tank's scared of the copter. I would probably kill this anti-air, because it's a real threat. Right, Sophie's starting to get back into this game. Kills off the recon. That really sucks. That's providing some very nice vision. Just keep in mind that copters aren't, flying units in general are not hidden in the trees. Just something to note. We have the bomber from Sophie. Okay. It's pretty rare to see bombers against Grimm. They're a little overkill, but they're a little overkill, and they're also really scared of Grimm anti-airs. Oh, okay. Looks like Parrots is really suffering the vision problems. Doesn't want to use, like, the infantry can be used to scout out targets. But this is very good for Sophie, able to now have an income lead. Just has to be sure to not overextend. Grimm bombers will one-shot anti-airs. Normal bombers will one-shot anti-airs. On roads, at least. Okay, there we go. You can start moving forward a little bit, getting some kills. The double recon's coming to back this up. Anti-air does get hit. Very good news for this bomber that just moved into anti-air range. Tank is taken out. Copter hits the infantry. Copter got the one shot there. Tank comes down. This is going to look like definitely a Grimm super for sure. Shot, one shot. Shot, one shot, one shot. Tank probably. Well, can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't reach over here. The medium tank is forced to kill off the infantry. It's looking pretty decent though. It's definitely killed off a lot of stuff. Denies a lot of vision. But the bomber isn't spotted, so there's no anti-air. There should have been an anti-air built when the anti-air got hit and killed off. You never want to be without an anti-air. But Sophie doesn't know that you're without an anti-air, so the bomber doesn't go in. One of the few cases of being able to bluff having an anti-air. Usually when I bluff having an anti-air, people always take the... just go for it anyway. No fear. The question is, does Sophie... like... if Sophie thought you had an anti-air before, Sophie should still think you have an anti-air? I guess Sophie no longer... either no longer thinks you do, or... oh, okay, it's just like, I gotta do it. I gotta go in and do something. I like the transport copter coming down here. Here comes the fighter. Copter, ready to interrupt any of these captures. I like it. Okay, we have the Neo tank and a rocket and a bomber. We got the big boy units over here. Neo tank takes out the tank. Bomber just runs down here. Ah, can't hide in the woods. Okay, this will be a very good turn for Parrots. They take out the bomber, can even use maybe even a super and hit this Neo tank. Maybe just a normal power. Looks like it'll just be a normal power. Bop down to 3. Take out the Neo tank. Take out the tank. Save the city. Recon kills an infantry. That was a very good turn. Oh, there is no anti-air over here for Sophie either. So now this fighter is uncontested in the sky. Join together. The join cap. We have a fighter built. Fighters will just kind of zone each other. But the fighter... Whoa, what was that? There's a recon right here to scout stuff out. There was a known copter. This copter thinking it's lucky stars that the fighter decided not to attack. Ooh, Rocket gets a shot on the medium tank. We do have some captures going on over here. Parrots, it's going to be impossible for Sophie to stop currently. Fighter doesn't quite cover its buddy up there. We have an anti-air. We got 2 anti-airs from Parrots. Yeah, anti-air, fighter. Things are looking very good in the skies here. A block rock with no vision. Charge forward, get some vision. Rocket shot. That was the transport copter. It does reveal the fighter. That was the anti-air. Sadly, there is a medium tank ready to hit this. Parrots is gotta be pretty happy with how that turn went as far as being hit by Jake supers go. Surprised that so much of stuff is running away. You got like the medium tank copter hit here probably to take out this medium tank. Just falling back. Okay. Capture does get stopped. Currently the economies are equal. Very expensive cluster of units. We have another bomber built too. Not quite sure what's going on with a lot of these capture attempts. They're a little gutsy. This doesn't reach. Okay, well, this property is going to go Parrots, at least for now. You still have this recon. It can scout out this fighter. Then the fighter would strike the fighter. And this anti-air would go down from probably this attack. I mean, this looks very much like Parrots. If the vision was acquired, could basically win. Ooh, just barely doesn't see the stuff though. The fighter's just chilling. Oh no. It does have anti-airs guarding it. So once it gets hit, it does get avenged. There gets hit. Smack there. Smack the medium tank. Medium tank smack. Fighter hits fighter. Very painful. We'll have the Grimm super with a lot of copters. Anti-air to kill the fighter. Kill tank. 2 copters just pop that medium tank. Anti-air kills the fighter. The fighter is probably just going to hit bomber. Okay, it's going to kill off the 1 health. Copter, that makes sense. Dive in. Medium tank killed medium tank. It's down to 1. There is a known rocket. It doesn't look like Parrot has an idea of where it is. Ah, now sees it, but has nothing in range to get it. Okay. Sophie's in a lot of trouble. The frontline units is a single rocket and a single bomber. Does have double caps going on here. Does get to kill off that copter, which is nice. The rocket does get to run out of vision range. Capture gets thwarted. Parrots at 23 to 19, although we are about to have one capture go through. Rocket fires and takes out the infantry. Terror comes over here, kills off the infantry. Got pretty good anti-air count here. So the next block rock, which Sophie has on deck, should be able to clear out most of the air, but the bomber does just get sniped by an anti-air. Copters come in, smack, the rocket gets hit. Team tanks be moving forward. This 2 health fighter, oh no, it runs out of fuel. But Sophie doesn't know that. Maybe the fighter's always out there in our spirits. And there comes up, kills off a copter. We got tanks, lots of attacks. This is a pretty... I don't know about that one. A pretty good block rock though. So we're kind of running out of units. Parrots still up in Econ, going for another city. There's nothing covering these top cities, so it looks like Sophie will probably get one over there. The recon got taken out, so we don't have the way to get vision of all these juicy targets. We got a Neo tank. Okay, I do like that there's been all this play with like sneaky infantry on the sides. They're very good. Parrots was going for a comm tower capture. Okay, we do have a bit of a breakthrough. Only a tank could reach, a copter couldn't reach. Copter kill, tank plus anti-air, kills off that anti-air. I assume copter's gonna come up and beat up this tank. So, this is looking like Parrots is gonna come out with the victory in the end. Yep, Sophie ends up resigning. That was quite the brutal game though, very back and forth. They even ended the game even in economy. But Grimm comes out on top. We have Dustlord. Tunya fish. Your poor fighter, I know. You don't like this map? I'm not a huge fan of it either. Better be subs in this game. We have another Sammy though. Sammy versus Jess. We'll see how it goes. We did the fast airport here, so I imagine we're gonna have. No, we don't have a T-copter. Wow. Okay. I do think the T-copter opening is probably best. You get that immediate boost, and then there's lots of captures to go for. It does require delaying the artillery to break the pipe seam, but I think it's worth it. We have T-copter boost right there for Tunya fish. It looks like Dustlord's still setting up for the T-copter boost. It's just super delayed. Yeah, okay. Yes, just wanted to break this pipe seam really early. Much faster than Tunya fish. We'll see how well that ends up paying off. Next strike there. The pipe seam is now broken. We have a leading recon over here. I think the recon's going straight up is probably better, just because, I mean, the transport copter opening is kind of a given, and it would most likely lead in this direction, and should mean that there isn't much that could defend it. Or over here, you kind of are moving into an airport that comes online. So I would expect to want to have like an anti-air coming this direction. That doesn't seem to be the case. Com Tower is already captured for Tunia Fish. Dustlord's kind of set up to go for it next turn. Little island situation is... I'm not quite sure why there's an infantry over here rather than going down here after I finish the harbor, but okay. There's probably just a little bit of a mistake there. That's okay. Now we're getting the comm tower capture. There hasn't been a single shot fired, but there's been close calls. Are stealths banned? Oh. I didn't think stealths were banned on this map. The airports are so safe. Okay. But that hurts. It hurts Tunia Fish. Can't get those Jess stealths. It's quite the line of infantry on either side here. The income is looking fairly even. Tunia Fish has a slight lead. I imagine Dustlord's soon going to get these ones up and running, though, so it won't be too bad. Dustlord has a nice unit count lead, though. Double load into the BlackBoat. I probably would have unloaded the mech down, so it's a little bit closer. We have a nice attack forward here. It's a little daring to go in with the copter, but that's okay. The mechs have arrived. Tunia Fish is now up by a significant amount of cash. Go for some more captures over here. You have the bomber built. It's a little overkill. Okay. Dustlord gets the kill on the recon. Hit the infantry, going for more captures on these cities. Finish off these infantry. There's nothing to check for this guy. I know the tank can check, and then the copter can hit him if need be. Or maybe it'll just be capture the city after it gets captured kind of a deal. We'll see, we'll see. Wow, okay, that's way, way too far forward with these copters here. As I say in Fog, do not lead with your copters. They just kind of get picked off for it. This one, yeah, they're both going to die because Tunia Fish will use the normal power probably. We'll see. Oh, never mind. Tunia Fish, no! This anti-air has to kill this one so that this one can then kill that other one. There's woods here ruining your day. Copter strike. There's no anti-air over here for Dustlord, so the air units will be able to thwart everything. There's no victory march yet. Although victory march would be really nice to take the comm tower for sure. Yeah, I think you kind of have to run away over here and start pumping out some anti-airs. Maybe even fighters. These captures definitely took way too long. There's an anti-air. A copter down here, interesting. There's a huge group of units up here. Dustlord does have way more units than Tuna Fish. We'll see how long that lasts. Infantry had to die for that. So, not an advantage. Wow. Similar no fear moving forward there. Okay. Bomber just scoots forward a tiny bit. Victory March is almost on the table. Get to kill off that tank. And then threaten to kill this guy off next turn. I don't think you probably go for the cap on the comm tower, just assuming that next turn you're going to be able to get the Victory March, so you want to keep the infantry alive. I do like all of the T-copters coming back from mechs, and I like the anti-airs being built. Those are good choices. Over here, bomber kills an infantry. The turbocharge from Tuna Fish kills off that infantry, but isn't able to. I guess this guy can go hit the artillery. Okay, copter stands on the city. I like it. Trying to stop the Victory March from being too good. Now, there's no infantry over here, so it's just mechs that could go for the Victory March, and they don't have the greatest of range. So we might see it just be delayed. Does seem to be the case. I'd like to see just like one infantry brought over here. I mean, the group of mechs is going to be very impactful for all of these light vehicle fights for sure. On spot stuff. Artillery one-shots the mech. That's the Jess arty for you. Anti-air kills the mech. The copter's going to be untouched. But killing off the foot soldiers does make the Victory March a lot worse. 1, 2, 3, 4. And currently, Victory March would not reach the comm tower. We might still see it anyway. Tank comes down. It's anti-air. I assume the artillery fires on the mech as the army comes down to help out. There's no that's true. There's no more anti-airs over here, so the copters are going to be a big problem. Kind of similar to what happened for Tuna Fish against Dustlord up here. Thing does start shifting down. Could have the Victory March to take the lab. Anti-air gets tagged. Another Jess normal power. Got the copter. Got the mech. Got the anti-air. There's 2 more on their way, but they're not quite in range. Bomber hasn't done much. I think it's killed 1 infantry. Otherwise, it's been kind of just scared to approach. Looks like it killed this pipe seam. It did. Okay, we have the Victory March used here. It will let mechs beat up tanks, but the comm tower looks like it will be safe. Bop. 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 Strike there. Nice mix. Hits in. Although these units would already be attacked by mechs. They're off this city. Capture it. Mechs kill off the copter. Tank, off the tank. I mean, that's a pretty good Victory March. You only captured a couple cities, but it's a lot of mech strikes. You have the fighter being built. Tuna Fish is way behind in unit count. Somehow they both only have 8 infantry, but Dustlord has 13 more mechs. Wow, I don't know how the bomber knew. That's the one target outside of both of these anti-air's range. But they found it. Okay. See the fighter over here? The copters are like, whatever, man. Fighter schmiter. This fighter moves forward. The army just kind of backs up. Builds another fighter. Okay. This fighter just attacks. Battlecopter is going to have coverage from an anti-air, so it doesn't have to. Oh, never. Okay, there we go. So can't be too worried. Fighter first strike. Very weird. Sammy versus Jess fighter battle. Or a huge army of mechs approaching. Tunya Fish is going to get one of their seas back. Fighter's going to get pasted by an anti-air, like so. And now this fighter's going to get pasted by an anti-air. But the Jess fighter definitely ended up doing more damage. We have a Jess rocket on the way. That can be quite irritating to have to deal with for Sammy. So many mechs. He's scooting forward. We have a Sammy bomber. Wait a second. The anti-air didn't kill off the fighter. What? Don't build a bomber when they're a known fighter. Okay, we have the Jess normal power. Now this fighter for sure is going to go down, right? Attacking in here, trying to take out all these mechs. It's tough to use vehicles against mechs. You kind of have to kill all of them, otherwise they'll get a net value trade on you. That wasn't the best of powers. Victory March. Ooh. We do have a mech in range of the comm tower, but I don't think there's any way of actually clearing it. Dude, mech's in range of anti-airs, though. That's pretty good. Yeah. Sad news. Instead just kills off anti-airs. I mean, you can't complain too much. Grab that city. Bunch of mech hits. Definitely need some more anti-airs with this army. There's a single one. Some indirects would also be pretty decent. It helps when all those vehicles dive in and start killing off a bunch of mechs. No, that's Tunya Fish. It is Tuna Fish. And Tuna Fish resigns. GG. The mech swarms just overwhelmed. The problem that happened here with the Jess bomber is that there wasn't enough intel on what the composition for Sammy was, so it was always too scared to really go in. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune your fish. Mess up your T-copters on the last turn. Oh no! This one's just sitting in the water. Gaslighting you. I said it is tuna fish. This is the last one I have on the current list, although I have some messages, I think, submitting more. Steeler versus flawdog. More Sammy. This is from flawdog? Is it? No, it's not. It's from you. What are you talking about? Steeler, why are you lying to me? You say, okay, you can have a normal game instead. Okay. Yeah, I did do the hypercube. Yeah, I was looking through some of the chats to see if I could add to the queue. Okay, so we got Sammy mirror on this weird map. Both that they start with an airport here, so I'm expecting to see, yeah, some T-copters being built. I'm expecting lots of mechs. Yeah, both get a T-copter. flawdog is known for having some pretty good Sammy play. I don't remember if Steeler has shown off any fancy Sammy play, but I assume everyone has a pocket Sammy that they can just kind of whip out and be like, haha, I am a Sammy pro. You think that Sammy can pull the victory out here? Starting with an airport is very good for Sammy. It's an interesting little strike from Steeler. So Sammy still gets the capture and then is also able to kill off a Sammy infantry. It's a little weird to go for that. So you have the recon, the dreaded nemesis of Sammy, the recons. How many comm towers are we doing? It's a 4 comm tower map. Or as Sammy likes to say, it's a 4 for me comm tower map. Sammy loves to just victory march, take all the comm towers. These ones all look very vulnerable to victory marches, so I would not be surprised if we somehow see one Sammy go victory march, take all 4 comm towers, and then the other Sammy victory marches and takes all 4 back. You were here for the death of the replay queue. Okay, got lots of recons coming out here. No tanks from Steeler in response. Oh no, there we go. Now we have a tank. Man, these HQs are so vulnerable. It's like Sammy's dream. HQ cap already being threatened. Kind of for both players. Anti-airs have to be built. Tanks are on the way. T-copter gets shot. 2 shot from the infantry. He was trying to stop the tank from escaping, I think. Mech stands on the HQ, trying to save. All the infantry get injured. Ooh, no threat of going for the HQ from Steeler. Just threatening to go for this city. Anti-air can't reach over here. Ooh. Looks like Steeler is going to have the comm tower advantage. Does deny this one. And both of these so far. Okay. flawdog unable to get the HQ, but is able to just attack everything around it. Although there's no real answer here for flawdog from just these tanks coming in with a vengeance. Did I miss the boosts? I do like boosts. There's no T-copters left for... Okay, let's see these boosts. Hop in. Boost up. Those are very stylish boosts. That's a very stylish boost. I like it. Could spend two movement to go here, 2 movement to go here, but it's definitely better to do the 4 move pattern. I agree. Those are stylish boosts. The Stealer tanks just get the swarm in here. I think flawdog might have overstayed the welcome there with those recons, but they might have not have had a great option to get away. Ooh, this copter is being super annoying. A little boost onto that river tile. flawdog does have a little bit of an economic advantage. flawdog goes straight for the double time. I assume that's for over here. Maybe. Kill off that. Over here. For the comm tower capture, but that's definitely stoppable. Okay, we are going for the attack over here. Okay. Try to stop the triple comm tower, Sammy. So many recons. I do like all the recons, but once there's enough tanks out, I think you do have to start changing it up. Okay, the Stealer have double time plans as well. It doesn't look like it. Ooh, going for this capture though. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, and there's no way for flawdog to stop it. Oh, interesting. I thought... Why is the tank going over here? It's totally safe to come down here and stop this capture. And go for a nice 3-0 comm tower advantage. Weird. Okay. I guess this is to help threaten going just straight for the victory march win. I assume. I mean, the only thing it's doing currently is stopping infantry coming over here, but it's got dreams of being a blocker. This is such a weird... flawdog has no charge. Has literally 0 charge. Is trying to get... double time, I guess? Attacks in here. Then takes the comm tower. Then attacks. Okay, it worked. It was just to have a sacrifice that was guaranteed to die and not do a damage. Or something. Don't know what's going on here. This seems really... I guess it doesn't matter if you hurt the copter because it already has an anti-air it can sacrifice itself to. I mean, this looks super GG. There's... Well, I guess this guy just has to kill off this infantry and then the victory march isn't quite available. Okay. Well, Stealer's pretty much all in on the victory march plan here. Here we go. We got some infantry in range. So it's all going to come down to flawdog somehow stopping this. which I don't see how. You got two different sides the infantry are coming from. You have a double time. Okay, we did kill off that infantry, but how do you stop this one? Can't. That's GG. I don't think that tank had to be there. Am I wrong? Victory march. Victory. What infantry are we talking about? This tank had to be here. This tank could have just hit it though. And then you'd have less to deal with because there wouldn't be a comm tower. I don't know. I don't agree with you there, but GG Victory March wins. It's true. Gotta be the good sport. And I've officially defeated the replay queue, but we do have the backlog. But we do have some people that sent in some more here. Trying to save the day. We have a Nonova against Kantbei. Max versus Andy. I feel so sorry that you had to go through this. So, Max absolutely stomps on Andy usually. So we'll see if Nonova is able to get something done here. I victory marched the backlog. It didn't stand a chance. This is high funds. Looks like they're doing the same thing. Whoa, that's a very fast mech from Nonova. I don't think I would go for a fast mech, but that's okay. We'll see what it gets done. They both go for very early airports. We have some tanks coming out from Kantbei. Another mech. I do like mechs for Andy, but in high funds, they tend to be a lot worse. They're being covered by artillery, which is nice. Kantbei's like, nah. You aren't getting the comm tower here. It kills off that infantry. You have the artillery nicely covering this copter. Going for this tank strike. This is looking very nasty. Kantbei can already attack in here pretty decently, should he wish. Down goes that copter. Maybe we don't have a perfect line of attack. There is this copter that's come over to help reinforce. That's still pretty decent though. But I mean, the copter comes in. Not the worst thing for Nonova. Ooh, I like the recon breaking the way to that copter. That was good. Ooh. Tank dives in to hit the anti-air, huh? Do have Andy Super almost online. There's a max power should Kantbei want it. Want it, Kantbei does. The mech is going to get another attack. Okay, comm tower being denied. That might have been able to be better for Kantbei. I'm not so sure. Nonova now has Andy Super. Mech gets to come in. A very solid attack. Here comes the Andy Super to heal off all that damage. Tank hits tank. Tank kills off the anti-air. Dives in pretty deep to do that. Comm tower still 2 turns away from being got, but things are looking pretty decent. Forgot Max is in the tier, yeah. Okay. Here's the tank. Nice interrupts over here. The mech does go down. Did it run out of ammo at the end? It did. I mean, that's a happy mech. A mech that runs out of ammo is a happy mech. And here come a bunch of tanks and a copter. This artillery's been getting its money's worth for sure. The Neo tank, huge front shift over to this side. Nonova's like, I want this comm tower. Thank you very much. And somehow both players have like successfully denied comm towers really, really well. I would have expected Max to be able to get one. Kantbei does manage to deny this one as well. Okay. We have a Max bomber on the way. Probably hunting down this poor innocent Neo tank. You do have to be, of course, be constantly careful about Max just using a super and reaching all your stuff with anti-airs, but it looks like these guys are just a little too out of position to actually cover everything on the other side of the map. So Nonova should get away with that attack. This guy could potentially reach something. Kantbei disagrees with me. Says, nah, they're not getting away with anything. Okay. Tank comes around, kill. Anti-air comes up and kills that infantry. Can't reach this copter. Kill off 1 copter, kill off 2 copters. Hit the tanks, I assume go after the anti-air. Sadly, oh no, this guy can come over here. Yeah, okay, so the artillery's gonna get bopped? No, the artillery's not gonna get bopped? Nah. You definitely hit that with the full health tank. You want to kill it, you don't want to just injure it. That thing's been a problem. Okay, got the medium tank. The bomber did fly around here and break this pipe seam. Andy Super will allow the mech to hit this anti-air, which is something. Hit this anti-air, trying to keep the bomber alive. Comm tower again starting to be captured. It looks like Max might end up getting... That mech didn't attack the anti-air, attacked the tank. Interesting. Okay, so if Kantbei wants, Kantbei can 100% get this comm tower. And I think Kantbei can stop this one too, but it's it can be a little expensive. No. The tank and the tank and the tank is fine for the infantry. Fighter being built. I guess the infantry is going to be the one that does it. This copter survives at 3. No, the tank? I would much prefer to hit that with an infantry. But I guess Kantbei's like, I'll just finish it off next turn. So if Nonova is able to get the normal power, does get through here. Yeah, should have blocked with... I guess you can't even block with the... No, you could block with the anti-air. Yeah, I don't know why Kantbei blocked with a 3 health tank. That's okay. Bomber does break through. Does the Neotank reach this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It does not. Nonova might be in trouble here. We'll see. The fighter does reach down here. So if the bomber gets used to stop the comm tower, which I assume it will. I guess Kantbei needed the super in order to have the copter reach. Oh, the medium tank will do that. Okay, now the bomber will kill the neo tank. Copter comes in, hits this tank down to 1. Just hit there. The tank's standing in the way, but it's not nearly as good. What a brutal fight. Kantbei does have a little bit of an income lead here. Bomber does get a nice smack in here. Anti-air goes down. We get the Andy super. Heal up. Some nice damage. The mechs get some good value. Down goes the bomber. There wasn't an anti-air build here. It's just a tank. Although, it doesn't matter because Kantbei's not getting enough charge anyway. Charge this turn. Fighter kills bomber. No tank kills. A little bit of a tag there, I guess. Don't agree with this attack into the range of the artillery. Kantbei maybe a little too desperate for this comm tower. I mean, Max doesn't really need the comm tower. That's Kantbei. He does that. He'll play fast. He's playing on his phone. Oh. No. You guys have been so good at stopping the comm towers from each other. Medium tank goes over here. It's going to be able to stop this capture. I just kills off anti-air. The fighter doesn't go after the other. It doesn't have the super. I probably would have hit the fighter. I guess it would have knocked it down below 5. I don't know. Well, I guess going for the kill on the copter makes sense. Or anti-airs. A nice neo tank first strike. Finish off that tank. Go for that capture. These captures are, of course, very annoying because Andy can always use a power. We have a normal power from Andy, though. Ooh. Let's kill off the copter. That unit. I thought it was going to be take out the fighter. You can think stopping the increase of wealth for Kantbei. We have another bomber on the way. Neo tank into max blast. Copter strike. Anti-air does make it over there, takes out the fighter. Neo tanks killing neo tanks. Artillery gets start going down. Does look like Nonova is going to get this capture probably. I'm surprised the neo tank went after that guy. I guess it's just to keep everything together. Could have killed off the tank. Okay, that was a pretty nasty turn. Nonova didn't get any charge for any of those units going down. Copter goes down. Neo tank strike. Tank versus tank. Copter finishes it off. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. That's covered by a neo tank. The Kantbei is really low on infantry, down to 5. Nonova's down to 3, though. This got spared, I guess. kill off these tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no power to go after the Neo tank. There's no anti-air capabilities over here for Nonova right now, which is very dangerous. What on earth is this anti-air doing? The medium tank just beats it up? I mean, I know it stops the infantry from starting the capture unless it dies on one hit, but it won't because there's no... I'm not so sure about that one. I guess the Neo tank is covering it. Wait, I just realized Nonova doesn't have this city somehow. The mechs also just realized, wait a second, the city is literally 3 squares away from this base. I agree, Nonova. I don't think the normal power is that great. It happens. You tank one shot. Over there, infantry lining up to go for the comm tower. Bomber hits Neo tank. Copter finishes. Do you like this fighter blocker? It's very cheeky. It's stopping the Neo tanks from coming over and hitting this team tank. Only 2 more turns and this guy's gonna get the capture. It looks like this capture will go through. Nonova will get this city. Do have Andy super available. You get these really nice attacks. And then heal up all the damage they took. Bomber comes in, hits the Neo tank. All these 1 health units. It's a good thing that Kantbei is not Andy. Oh, the infantry does show up in time. Next turn, I can walk over there and stop the capture. Is it out of range of everything? It's not out of range of this Neo tank with a super. We have a missile? Okay. The max blast. Does the Neo tank save the city capture? Probably not. It does look like it has better targets. Fighter. And there. I assume we're going to have fighter kill bomber. And then the Neo tank did decide to spare. That's somewhat questionable of an attack. That's okay. Attack that fighter. I was wondering if that was going to happen. Okay. Nonova is now ahead in income. Actually didn't end up getting this property. It does go down. A fighter hits the fighter. Fighter kills. No, it doesn't kill. This property was denied. Max be chillin'. It's a very close game. Usually what happens is Max just like gets a super and just one-shots a whole bunch of anti-stuff and he cries. But, oh no, the fighter failed. But so far, it hasn't quite worked out that way. Fighter gets surrounded. Okay. Bomber over here. Nova does free the 1 health fighter. Well, it's not really 1 health because this is Andy we're talking about. Ah. Asserting dominance, Nonova starts going for the 2 health infantry capture. Comm tower started over here, interrupted over here. Bomber built. No more healthy fighters. Neo tank goes down. I probably would have at least attempted to kill this with the tank and then go for the capture, but maybe the health was somewhat known. Oh no. How'd that happen? Kantbei with the huge blunder doesn't go after this infantry with the anti-air. Does get the 1 health fighter, kills 1 health fighter though. Well, Nonova is down by quite a few units, but does get the comm tower. The nice heal. Massive blunder by Kantbei. Well, the Kantbei is also going to get the comm tower, so they get the comm tower at each other. Nonova is at 15 units against 21, which isn't great. Max Super doesn't reach the tank, I assume. The medium tanks do get taken out. What is this bomber doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this bomber just didn't notice that there's a fighter over here. Or no, I see what's going to happen. This fighter is going to block here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah, if this fighter blocks over here, the missile can't clear it. And then this fighter can't. We'll have to go after this guy instead of the bomber. No, never mind. What is this play? This is a horrible play, Kantbei. All you had to do was put the 1 health fighter there and then not put this fighter in range also. I don't know. The bomber's just gonna die. Exactly like so. I like the priority. Instead of like interrupting here first, just gotta stop this one. Knocked it down to 2 again. Okay. Bomber. You have a join cap over there. There's no way for Nonova to stop that one. The 1 health tank is sitting in front of... See, this is the play I like. This is very cheeky. So these units can't come out here to do stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if somehow Nonova gets the super, they'd really like to. If the missile shoots the fighter, then there's nothing that can move through here. Oh, never mind. There's a rocket right here. It doesn't work. I assume Kantbei also missed the rocket. Cheeky play ruined. Nonova having to sacrifice some serious units in order to stop these captures. 2 health infantry doing this thing again. Mega tank goes down from Neo tank attacks. Although, I mean, it's probably not worth it because it's going to be 2 Neo tanks for a mega tank. But it is an Andy mega tank. Kantbei should probably invest in some max mega tanks because those could be pretty nasty. Nova starts building up over here. Join cap that property. We have a capture happening over here. The income is actually even right now, despite this property from Nonova never being captured. I still don't know how that has managed to happen. This fighter is so, or this missile is so aggressively placed, but it's been doing its job. Do have an Andy super. Heals up this Neo tank. Copter flies in, infantry flies in, medium tank hits Neo tank. Bomber takes out anti-air. Okay, missile moves over. We do stop that capture. This one is going to go through finally. We do have an Andy, or not Andy, we have a Max Blast in retaliation. Kills off the medium tank, kills off the bomber. There's nothing to reach. Seems like a mistake that... Oh, the anti-air can't actually reach. Okay. The missile goes down. We knew it well. Rocket's gotta be on Kantbei's radar. Fighter hits fighter. Classic 5-6 trade. Nonova resigns. It's just running too low on units, it looks like. GG. Was still doing pretty decent economically. Was gonna fall down behind on this one though. That was a brutal game. Aren't max megas sort of overkill? Well, they'll one-shot like Neo tanks on cities, no problem, and they'll also with super one-shot other mega tanks. I was very impressed by how long these comm towers went uncaptured. Okay, got another one sent in just now. You literally always need the base or a capturing unit on that property for a position. What are the stats? I can look back. Okay. Really even, actually. Well, Kantbei had a pretty... Or no, it was Kantbei's... No, it was Nonova's turn. So Kantbei did have a pretty good income lead. Almost half a turn ahead there. As far as kills and deaths, that's very even. There's no huge spikes. It was just constant fighting throughout. I know the backlog has been murdered. I don't remember what those players were. Here, after this one, I've got the time. I'll do one of my games against Incuggarch. I did say I would do that if I got through the backlog. Yellow comment. Okay. Elations Arrow versus Pseudo Drifter. Jake versus Adder. Drink some water. Okay. Here we go. Going for the neutral property, not the airport right away. Oh, airport's faster for Elations Arrow. Or neutral base, of course. I don't know this map, but it seems fine so far. The comm tower is probably a little too safe for my liking. But I like how everything's just kind of spreading out here. Pseudo Drifter probably should go for this airport faster. Well, the Elation Arrow is not like they're getting anything out of the airport currently, so that's okay. Definitely a very slow start. The cameras are really far away from each other. So it kind of looks like this could be a stallable map. But we'll see. Because the contested properties are kind of a safe distance apart. We have a bunch of tanks coming up through the middle. Pseudo Drifter goes in for an interrupt. That is going to be punishable, but there is double tank backup. Elations arrow does go for this capture. Okay. Infantry strikes. Tank goes back. Ooh. Oh, this tank's... Oh, this is actually a safe spot. I would not move my tanks forward like this. This is just inviting a whole bunch of free hits. I would just block with this infantry and keep the tanks back a little bit. So Elations arrow should have like an amazing turn here. And indeed, they do. Have the side slip. Pseudo Drifter tries to salvage this middle engagement. We have a whole bunch of infantry strikes on this side. Is an artillery to try and help on over here. This is still a setup that Elations arrow can break through, although with Pseudo Drifter's power, it will save this tank from being killed off. Normally it would get killed off because, well, actually there's no 2 full health tanks, so it's fine. But because these are 2 planes on either side of it, the Jake power does its thing. But in this case, it kind of worked out for Pseudo Drifter. The units moved into range of the artillery. Some nice tank shots to get some vengeance in the center. Wait. I feel like a tank here didn't move. I thought there was another tank that could go in and attack this. Must have been mistaken. I'm surprised that Elations arrow stuck around here. It's still in artillery range and there's all these backup tanks. The left-hand side, a brutal infantry fight, but there is one tank from both sides coming in. On the right, it looks like Elations arrow is probably going to win that just because there's tanks there. Oh, there we go. Pseudo Drifter is now going back to the airport. That took a little while. You weren't planning on building any kind of air units. I gotcha. As soon as you get... This tank doesn't move. You should probably go up and just kill this because it will be covered by this artillery. I can understand being like, I want the full surround. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's going to reach with the super. Yeah, block rock. Well, that breaks through anyway. Although there's a medium tank and still an artillery around to hold it. Okay. Left-hand side still in utter conflict. The right-hand side looks like it is collapsing for Pseudo Drifter. Things do look better in the middle a bit. This tank is a little... Did it do anything or just move over here? Oh, it killed off an infantry. It's a little gutsy. It doesn't have anyone really covering it. But I can understand why you'd want to go for it. Goes down. Elations arrow just backs up over here. Tries to go for this capture. Pseudo Drifter has another tank on the way. So army should get kind of beaten up. We lost the artillery on us. There's a nice replacement on this. Boy, the tank just dives in there. No fear. Looks like Pseudo Drifter managed to stabilize on the right. And is up 3k, which is very good. The copter coming in over here. We have an anti-air build here. Copter built over here. Jake goes for the beatdown. This will shoot the medium tank. And the other medium tank just sacrificed itself into it. This infantry probably should have tried to interrupt the capture for a little more value out of that. Pseudo Drifter does back up. That gets another city up 4k. 3 defending the medium tank. We have a copter of our own. This tank, no fear, charges forward. You have a sacrificial attack and then the tank finishes it off. No, it lives at 1. 2 health can do it. Okay, backing up a bit. You can see how this can very easily stall. Copter does get a strike on the tank. Anti-air does show up. We're just fighting off these infantry, stopping any captures from happening. Up 4k, Adder versus Jake. I would expect that to be enough to kind of win the day in the end, but we'll see. We have double medium tanks for Pseudo Drifter heading into the center here. There's a medium tank all on its own over here. This is definitely a little spicy. Trying to make the presence known, but it does let the medium take a stack from the city, and then artillery can cover it. We have a really good adder power next turn, though. That will allow... Well, I guess it doesn't quite work. Can go copter plus tank and then anti-air kills here, but then you lose the city. Which would be undesirable. So I think it's probably going to be copter hits copter, anti-air hits city, tank hits tank, or something like that. You kind of back up over here. We do have the side slip. Break through, hit the artillery, hit the tank. Artillery behind, hit that tank. Copter comes up. Ooh. Okay, we did kill off that tank. Did go after the copter, so letting the city fall. I mean, it can always be a case of I let you take the city and I just take it back. A tank and a copter for a city is pretty decent. Value-wise. Just comes down to how long does the tank, the city get kept for. And it's looking like it won't be kept too long. When this city's under threat. We have a rocket that's made its way all the way up here. Here comes the block rock. Bap. Ooh, the rocket. Oh, that's painful. The medium tank will die for the rocket, so it's a fine trade. Well, this is a very scary attack into the center by Elations arrow. Elations arrow probably should have hit this infantry. Side slip, kill off the medium tank. Some tanks over here, go after the infantry, finish off that tank, hit join cap. Okay, anti-air here to deal with the copter. We have this capture go through. I like this little block we've got going on here. So that was definitely a good trade for Pseudo Drifter on the left hand side, since the city does go right back their control. Whoa, oh, barely holds the ground there. The artillery saying hi. This is looking pretty decent again for Pseudo Drifter. We've got infantry kills infantry, copter plus tank, and then anti-air just stands here, stopping this copter from hitting the copter that's on the mountain. Oop, that's not what we see, though. Okay. Sending this guy over here instead. It's fine. There's quite the central fight that's happening after all. Medium tanks. Pseudo Drifter is way ahead in unit count. The only place that's kind of in Elation Arrow's favor is the center right now. 4k income lead. Kind of ahead on every metric right now for Pseudo Drifter. I don't know what this copter was doing, though. That's not a safe attack. So a bit of a blunder there. Elations arrow down to mostly vehicles. Hell, start clearing stuff up a bit over here. We do have a tank strike from the city, which is nice. Side slip coming in. Japanese infantry, anti-air backs up with a tank strike. Going after the artillery in the back. We'll have a medium tank strike. I don't know why this tank went way over here. What? Medium tank plus tank looks pretty good to me. Just a little too worried about the artillery in the back, which is fair. Want to head off all of these guys. You have the block rock coming through. Tank strike. There's no infantry. There's a single infantry that's charging forward, but there's no way for Elations arrow to capitalize on any victory that's made at this point. Artillery start getting beat up. Bunch of tanks on their way to help Pseudo Drifter. Elations arrow has come back quite a bit when it comes to unit count, though, which is pretty nice. Anti-air kills off the copter. It's a quadruple of artillery have been doing some serious work. But it looks like the end of their reign is now. Eh? You come in here. We're not gonna kill them all off. Okay, one does survive. Well, I guess two do. Okay. Does not bode well for this medium tank, unfortunately. It's gonna get shelled. Oh no, it's not. That was a really weird move by Elations arrow, because the medium tank can just chase this guy down. Pseudo Drifter marching forward with some infantry. The medium tank did not chase that guy down. Other tanks did. That's fine. Back in here, another copter disrupting game plan over here. We have a capture going through. Double capture. Uh-oh. The Elations arrow has resigned. GG. You should build rockets. I imagine you had a ton more money than your opponents. Yeah. It was your opponent's turn, and you had almost, well, like 40k more income. 8 normal powers. GG. Uh-oh. We might see some illegal movements here. This is the old version of the map. Can't you play like that? This is a back in the day game. Figure we've had many Sammy matches. We can see one more. You play like a true 700. I mean, you're definitely a very good 700, I gotta say. So I don't know what illegal movements we're going to see, because I don't know what the differences are between the two versions of this map. But as you can see, it's Go7 versus Incuggarch, Sammy versus Sammy on Vandalism. And fun fact, I have only ever played Sammy mirrors against Incuggarch. So this game was a while ago. I do not remember what my plan was. But knowing me, I definitely had a plan. I don't know what Incuggarch's plan was either. The city placements look a lot different. Okay, it's probably like over here that's different. Okay. Apparently in the old version, this is not a mountain because it's just in the legal movement already. Yeah, we've only ever played Sammy Mirror. Okay. Well, I'm very patient with my lander here. I drop off down here. Am I going for the comm tower quickly, or am I going for some central properties quickly? I have a very early recon on the left. Incuggarch has a fast recon too. Incuggarch goes for a more central play. I do believe my idea for this map at the time, at least, was... Okay, looks like I'm going for property captures. Was to basically ignore the center until I am established on the sides, and then I can front switch into the center and win that way. I'm just going for economic plays. I've set myself up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to interrupt the comm tower. My double lander drop off here. And that is what I do. Drop off over here. I get to scout out what Incuggarch's up to. I build an artillery. I think my plan must be to try and deny this comm tower as long as possible. Incuggarch does get to beat up on my poor infantry over here. And bring in infantry of his own. I've got a mech on the way, it looks like. It does kind of look like Incuggarch is going to be able to get this comm tower. We continue the recon plus infantry harassment. I feel like if I had my lander here... No, I don't know. Oh, I had to put it here for this infantry to reach. I see. Well, sadly my artillery isn't currently guarding this, but I do see the plan. Got the copter on the way. That doesn't quite reach. So it does look like Incuggarch will be able to get the comm tower, should he wish. But then I've got plans to try and take it back immediately. I definitely should not have gone for this city cap. Very gutsy of me. But I... Oh, I see. It's because I thought that he wouldn't be able to have vision of it. Yeah, I know he can... I know Decobird. It's because he's got the recon on the other side of the water, and he spots me that way. Okay. I do get the city, of course, because it's Sammy. Cap there. I bring the mech over. Have our little unload tricks. Wow, I'm very aggressive with this. What a horrible play. What? I did not have to move the artillery through the vision range of the tank. That was very questionable. But I do have this cheeky little setup. So if the tank hits any of these from these tiles, I can just smack it with the artillery. I have a plan to, I think, evacuate this guy if he somehow lives the turn. Which is definitely not happening. Incuggarch does get this. It does. Oh, it looks like copter plus mech will just clean it up, though. He unloads some more stuff into the center. Looks like he's bringing a plan of artillery into the lander to drop off. There's a whole bunch of different spots. You can't see it on this. On the version we were playing, you can drop off the artillery back in the little mountains to try and cover this stuff. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I don't even go for the finish on the kill here. I just have the copter go after the recon. And I'm walking into the center the slow way. So this infantry can get shelled. I don't know if it does. No. The mech did spot it though. Okay, and here we can see a nice illegal action, unloading the lander from the sea. But now, it's a good thing I got the comm tower when I did. Lots of lander drop-offs are happening here. We're going to go straight into the center. I like that play. Unload the tank. The artillery is still in there. Load in the infantry. Try and check around to make sure I can unload this artillery safely, and then do so. Kill off that infantry. Looks like the comm tower will be mine. Artillery moving up. I'm going for both of these captures. Things are looking good for me on the sides. Incuggarch's kind of having a nice situation in the center here. But I don't think controlling the center is nearly as impactful. I mean, it's not bad. But of course, if you own both sides versus owning just the center, you'll have more properties. Okay, I do take both comm towers. Happy days. Infantry come in. Clean up. I do stop that property. Bring a mech over here. Start capturing here. The copter does not do enough damage to interrupt this. I would have to have had... how did I even see that? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's because it's on my city. I should have had the 2 health. If I was doing this plan, I should have had the 2 health infantry strike here, and then the copter, and then I could have prevented it. Definitely greedy for me to have this copter strike here, because it's been a copter over here for a long time, so there's like no way Incuggarch would not have an anti-air. Okay, now it's Incuggarch's turn. Does deny this. Moves forward. The little mech squads. Apparently, this is just a shoal, so it can go over here. I think this is also a mountain, if I remember correctly. Down goes that copter. Rest in peace. And then we're going to be caught in a copter chain here as both of these reinforcement paths meet. So yeah, my general plan of going for the sides and then going into the center seems to be working pretty well, although now this side's looking a little scuffed, to be sure. Copter strike. A bunch of infantry, start capturing that. I have the artillery backing it up. It's looking very good over here. Drop off our tank. Help deal with this nonsense that Incuggarch is trying to fight back on my sides. Unruly. Not sure why I had that infantry attack that mech. That seems like a weird choice on my part. Anti-air kills off my copter, but it is in range. My artillery, and then he uses a double time. Oh, did the 2 HP infantry get trapped on the recon? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Double time will let the mechs reach this infantry, and then the tank, I guess, can come through. And checks for the anti-air. It hits there. But that does mean I get to stop this capture. I guess he's relying on me not being... I can't shoot the tank because I need to stop the comm tower capture. But this double time is kind of setting me up for a victory march. Just kill off some infantry, although it's a little bold. And it's always a rough feeling when you do the, like, I hit you with the normal power, you hit me with the super. I don't know if I do super here. It's probably not required. Oh, no, I do. Okay. Kill off the tank. Kill off the mech. I assume I just take the city. Pop. Take the city. Take the city. Take the city. Take the city. Over here, beat up this infantry and then take the city. Happy days. The recon survives. The recon goes down. And then we start backing up towards airport. So a few of these cities are definitely not going to last. This one for sure. This one might. They'll lose the infantry though. That does put Incuggarch in an awkward situation of being at 19k income to 30k. That's correct. Sammy indirects have just the normal firepower. They don't have that minus going on. But I am, and in this situation now, I am double comm tower and up in income. So Incuggarch kind of has to get a lot done here in order to stay in the game. And he's going for quite a few captures, which will be very good if they all go through. It's like the lander's checking for something. Checking the forest. See if I have an artillery, maybe. I do get to have some vengeance. Try and stop that capture. I imagine I stopped this one. It's just a weird play on my part. I don't know what this tank is doing. Oh, I see. That's right, because this isn't what this looks like over here. These are all forests. This is just a little line of forests in our version of the game. So apparently, instead of trying to just go for the attack on the side, I checked to see if there was anything there instead of just letting myself get trapped. That's very weird. I'm unable to stop this. Oh no, I can use the infantry to stop it. Another copter strike. Build a fighter to leverage my my economic edge over Incuggarch and win these copter duels. Unload some more tanks over here. Finish off the infantry. I probably should have stopped this capture, but I guess I didn't want to lose the units to do so. So Incuggarch will be able to take 2 cities back. So I probably should have made it just 1. And then in the center, Incuggarch starts getting some traction. Although I do have triple tank on the right side now, which is fairly fearsome. And then the lander goes into the spot to trap the lander is apparently holding something. But I do see it with the recon. So no worries for me. I was holding it back. Even with double comm tower, Sammy can't quite interrupt another Sammy. It does take a little copter help. Now the fighter's here, which is very annoying for Incuggarch to deal with. And again, this mech is actually in the woods. And I believe this is, I think, yeah, all of these tiles are woods. I don't think this is woods. It might be. So this is in the woods. I don't see this artillery. And these tanks are in the woods. Recon comes down. I'm being very annoying. I'm going to stand on the airport and harass anything that might stop me from getting my capture. And at this point, I'm trying to set up a double threat. I'm trying to set up a win by a capture victory by capturing enough properties with a victory march at the same time that I want to set up a win on trying to go for the HQ cap. There's been quite a few Sammy games this stream. He does manage to kill the recon. It was holding its own. It's the mech strike on the tank. Finishes off that tank. But I just have to reveal the anti-air to do so. And then Incuggarch gets a fighter to answer my fighter, but it does require 2 base skips to do so. Unless there's some sort of joining of units that happens. Doesn't look like it, so it's just double base skip while both of the sides are under some serious pressure. Stop the capture, kill off another copter, and then I go for a double time. I think that's for this mech. Oh, it's because I'm seeing, yeah, it's good. It's because I'm seeing that there's a victory march incoming. There, survives. So I want to kill off as many foot soldiers as I can. That was a bit of a mistake on my part. I probably should have stood here with an infantry and I would have revealed this guy. Or put another thing here to block, just so it's harder for Incuggarch to get this comm tower. So anyway, we have the victory march from Incuggarch. He is able to clear the comm tower and get the capture. Get that capture too, taking his own cities back. How dare he? Looks like I do get this one though. Takes that city. Hits that copter. Clears it out. Goes for the fighter first strike. It's the 5-8. Gets both of these cities. So at the end of this, I'm not too upset because when your opponent victory marches and you're even on income, you're usually pretty happy with yourself. And then I immediately get this city, and aha, I'm still ahead. But because like this fighter was so expensive, the reinforcements on this right side kind of dry up, and I can just kind of push them back. Copter comes in for some smacks. I think I start getting an anti-air to bring over here. Clean up as much as I can. And this mech, I don't know what it does. I guess it just runs back to the woods for safety. Okay. Incuggarch gets to attack over here. This very good artillery spot. Finishes off my fighter. And then retreats on the right side. I don't have any infantry over here currently that even go for any of these captures. So it's going to work out pretty well for him to retreat. But I'll pick off what I can. And then at this point, I'm like, well, he's running so far back here. It's time for me to do the squish. For some reason, this lander left the choke point, so now I'm free. So the plan here is to send all of my units on the right side, and then also pick up 2 vehicles with this lander, and just do a huge drop off in the center. I do build another fighter. Join in these mighty fighter wars we've been having. Okay, so we've dropped off the anti-air. We got lots of stuff incoming. You can see Incuggarch had to fall back really far. Probably a little too far over here. So there's no pressure being put on my sides anymore. And just kind of attack straight forward here, and now the victory march is almost here. I probably should have dropped off this infantry lower down just so I could threaten HQ cap, and I've got my lander here to pick up these tanks and join this attack, as I then try and line up a bunch of infantry for all of these remaining properties for next turn. And because I front switched away here while Incuggarch is building up defenses, he's got a whole bunch of... He's behind in the unit count and unit value, but he's also got a whole bunch of his army just kind of sitting in a corner. Which is not where you want to have your stuff. Have time to answer a question about Colin? Sure. Load in. The full-on attack. Where's the center? Start capturing here. Don't really need to do that. Block off this anti-air. Set the infantry up to go for the HQ. And that's just GG. And Incuggarch resigns. So it's kind of just a very scrappy brawl on the sides until I got Incuggarch to retreat, and it's just full-on front switch into the center and push for the victory. And I think Incuggarch's initial double time cost him quite a bit, as the double time into my victory march ended up giving me a huge economic advantage for a long time. This was my turn, though. No, he resigned on his turn. So yeah, I was very far ahead in money. So GG. You caught my reboot video before where I used him to basically solo lash in the factory mission? For Colin? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the way you do it, right? Because that increases the value of your money. And then you just kind of get unstoppable. I mean, you can hold it even longer than I did and just stick to, like, I mean, as you saw, very artillery-heavy compositions because they're cheap. Now, that's the competitive way to play them. That's how you call in. Except if I was playing competitively instead of with like a somewhat time limit, then I wouldn't be dumping all my money in Neo-Tanks unless I had to survive. I would just keep making the bank larger and larger and larger until it's just insurmountable. GG. Go7 versus Incuggarch. This is the first game we ever played, but this is also when Incuggarch was first making a splash on the scene, so this didn't really cost Incuggarch like any points. Yeah, lots of artillery, lots of infantry. You can... Here. If I have any Red Halo games. 2 words? be 2 words? No, it's a dash. I only have 2 of this one. Okay, well. We'll try and get through this really quick. Where's Red Halo? Red Halo is the penguins. Well, this is not going to be a good demonstration. This is going to be a Red Halo trying to survive. Red Halo is like a call-in master. So we'll just look at the Red Halo situation. Nope. That's the super delay. You can see lots of infantry, but he's going to be forced to build tanks. He's trying to go into this artillery, heavy artillery composition to hold the line, save us of as much money as possible. But because he's forced to build units to try and survive, he can't do it. Because he's trying, at that point, he's trying to play Colin like he was just a normal CO. And you won't be able to do that. He was against Hachi, though. But, I mean, that went by a little fast. But you can see he tried to go into the heavy artillery style so that he can save up a lot of money. But instead he had to do what I was doing in the reboot camp mission. He had to spend his money on heavy vehicles to try and survive, and then he died. But that basic style is the right one. I think this is the one where he's double sensei. There he is. We can do this one really quick as well. Where is he? Orange? He's right here. There's so many infantry. Such is the way, and now mechs, of the, That's why Sensei tag Sensei. Very broken. Yeah, there's very little momentum, and it's how you kind of play Colin, and then you, once you have enough money, you just win the game by building big stuff. Okay. Hope everyone enjoyed. We got through the backlog. We did it. And I leave you all with an apple. Yay. There's, of course, a Patreon if you would like to join that. And apple. They said it wasn't possible, but I proved them wrong. And thanks for watching, everyone.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins.